DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is the end of an era in Dragon Ball's favorite city.
Third down, Rodgers empty backfield. He'll get the shotgun snap, four-man rush, sets in the pocket, hit from behind, down he goes. Did he lose the ball? Rodgers is down. The ball picked up on the play by Rankins. He'll run it down the middle from the 20 to the 10 to the 5 and a touchdown. He was not chased. He was not chased. It's a defensive touchdown for the Houston Texans.
I love Kevin Harlan calling a game. He was not chased. He was not chased. Why were they not chasing him? Well, you know who was chased today? Mike Tomlin. The end of an era. 19 seasons as the head coach of Dragon Ball's favorite team. The Pittsburgh Steelers will now be looking for their fourth coach since I was 2 years old. And I'm like in my late 50s right now.
It's a happy day in the Spoelstra family because as of today, guys, he is the longest tenured coach in all four major leagues in America. Yes.
Eric Spoelstra.
Little baby Eric Spoelstra,
wow,
who was the youngest coach hired in NBA history, is now, I think, 18 years. So he's the longest tenured coach of all the four major leagues.
There you go. There you go. All right. Dragon Ball, your thoughts on the way it went down last night? My mom was loving it. She is a CJ Stroud fan. Of course, she loves all of our Ohio State Buckeyes. But, yeah, it was ugly at the end.
Yeah, no, it was. It got ugly at the end. This was one of those games where it seemed like going into the fourth quarter, this was what the Steelers had done throughout the 2025 season, where they played it close. The defense kept them in games. Turnovers were certainly in their favor to that point, but you can't get a fumble near the red zone and only move the ball 4 yards and expect to win. It's just a fact of life that if you can't move the ball, you can't win games, and that's for any of the four major sports. Eric Spoelstra will tell you that. I'm sure some coaches in the NHL will tell you that. Coaches in the NFL across the country will tell you that. You need to move the ball if you want to win, and the Steelers did not do that last night, and now they have to move on from seemingly what many describe as the most stable part of the NFL has been the Steelers head coaching job. I've only known two coaches in my life growing
up. That's crazy.
So I've known more popes than I've known Steelers head coaches.
Wouldn't it be weird if they went the other direction all of a sudden, like 6 coaches in the last 80 years? Wouldn't it be weird if we saw a new head coach every couple of years? Because we think of that franchise as being that franchise that sticks with their head coaches through the lows to see what kind of highs. And we've never not known that, but the era of the NFL these days, front offices make moves every 3-4 years.
And the thing is that, J-Dub, that may not be entirely out of the realm of possibility because, DK, I want to present something to you in that you may have a better idea of understanding this. Dan Rooney.
What, as a Browns fan?
Well, no, just that you've seen everything related. My dad was raised, he was born in 68, so he saw all of the 70 Steelers. The main catalyst I feel that most people forget about with that amazing Steeler run, 6 championships from 1974 to 2008, was Dan Rooney. Dan Rooney was the major focal point of the front office when Art Rooney II, a lot of people, Art Rooney Sr., rather, when he was the one that was kind of in charge. Everyone remembers his cigars, the big glasses in the 70s. But he wasn't the guy actually making the business run. His son, Dan, was taking over football operations.
Right.
And Dan Rooney did a lot of the heavy lifting during that 70s dynasty and continued doing so going into the early 2000s. And remember, he was in charge of hiring Bill Cowher in 1992 and other decisions that went down the line. And sadly, I don't know if Art Rooney II is the same kind of gusto as his father did. So like J-Dub said, I actually don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. Since Art Rooney II took over, the Steelers have not won a playoff game as his major ownership role. They have not won one at all.
My favorite way to put this in
7 straight losses in the postseason?
My favorite way to put the Steelers coaches in perspective is if you look at the top 10 all-time winningest coaches in NFL history, only 2 of them passed George Halas. So George Halas was obviously multiple Bears franchises because he was there for the shift to Chicago. None of those coaches, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, none of them coached in one place except for Tom Landry, who spent his entire career with the Cowboys. The other two guys on the list are both Steelers coaches, Chuck Noll and Mike Tomlin. Both finished with Tomlin's, well, we'll see where Tomlin goes after this. But if that's his final game coached, they both finished with 193 regular season wins, which puts them tied for 9th all-time in NFL history for coaches.
So thank
with
you.
the same franchise.
So thank you for your Browns spoiling that little remedy of history.
There you go. There you go. I know there are a lot of Steeler fans here in Southern Arizona. 520-848-1290. Want to hear from you today about your team and this monumental shift. Like Dragon Ball said, he's only known 2. I've really only known 3, Chuck Noll and then obviously Bill Cowher and now obviously Mike Tomlin. It's been it's been an incredible run of consistency and solidity, solidarity, I guess you could say is a better word for this franchise. But it was time. I think it was time. I mean, again, this was a team, like you mentioned, it got into the postseason. Mike Tomlin's a great coach for getting you to that point, but this is a franchise that expects a lot more than just getting to the postseason. And 7 straight losses in that respect is just not going to sit well with that fan base. So it was probably time to move this thing in a different direction. So not surprised that this happened at all today with Mike Tomlin, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. There's a lot of jobs up there, like you mentioned. Will he coach again? Does he want to? He's such a young guy. I can't just see him not coaching. But I didn't think that when Bill Cowher left, I thought he would coach again, and he hasn't coached. So there's something to that. I think that legacy of just having been coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if Mike Tomlin, who could probably go get himself a seat, as everybody's been saying, go get himself a seat next to Bill Cowher or on any given network. I mean, everybody's going to want to hire Mike Tomlin for sure. He could have himself a cushy TV job for the next 20 years and not have to worry about being on the field as a coach. But I don't know that I see that from Mike Tomlin. I just think he coaches again. Do you think he coaches again?
I think personally, if anything, he'll probably give it a year. I think that he takes the year off because it's been trying the last couple of years. A lot of outside noise about him potentially being, he should be fired, he should be let go, and all this other stuff. In my mind, he'll probably take the year off. If he does take a role as an analyst, my best guess would be maybe he takes over for Terry Bradshaw on the Fox pregame. Yeah. And he takes over that spot there. And if he likes it, he'll end up probably just the same as Cowher. He finds out, hey, I like this gig a little bit better. And if nothing else, keeping him on TV will never run out of Tomlinisms. And if anything, that's a whole set of that's a whole dictionary worth of things that you could get from him just staying as an analyst, and you get him far more frequently.
There you go. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is our number. You can get in on this program by calling that number. You can text that number. We would love to chat with you. Full show today. Obviously, tomorrow is a game day for Arizona men's basketball. The Sun Devil, the Devil people, as I like to say, are in town for a late tip-off, 8:30 tip-off. So we're going to be here into the morning on Thursday talking basketball with you tomorrow. 5 o'clock coverage begins, 8 o'clock tip-off with the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. And, of course, our coverage will scheduled to go till, I believe, 1:30 in the morning on Thursday. So plenty of chances to get back in. The Wildcats, the number 1 team in the country in both the AP and the coaches poll, as we said that would happen. And pretty, all of a sudden, pretty unanimous from the coaches. I think they got was it the coaches poll? They got all but 1 vote. Did the Wildcats? I think they got 60 of the 61 first place votes. I was a little surprised that it was that unanimous. But, Iowa State did pick off 1. So there's one person out there that maybe does not believe that. And I would not be surprised if that was John Wilner, because I don't know if you saw John Wilner's thing last week, but he kind of thought that Iowa State, John Wilner, longtime writer for the San Jose Mercury News and Pac-12 reporter, he feels that Iowa State is the best team in the conference based on the fact that they went into the state of Indiana and beat Purdue by 20-plus points earlier this year. So I would not be surprised if that vote came from him.
I don't know I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. I know he's a Midwest guy, and I know he's got an ASU bias in his voting history. That's what I know about the one vote for Iowa State. It's got nothing to do with the Cyclones. It's got the fact that he consistently votes Arizona State higher than the norm in his polling choices.
Where would he put Arizona State today?
Well, it's the opposite of that. It's where was he going to? He's not going to give Arizona a number one vote just because. But Iowa State. I mean, obviously, we're still literally, halfway through the season. We're 2-3 games into conference play. I've made my opinion pretty well known. Is that 40 years of watching Arizona basketball? Midseason polling is great, and midseason being ranked number one midseason when you flame out in the first, second, third round of the NCAA tournament. Leaves a bit of a bad taste. So I'm more interested in seeing how they play throughout the rest of the season, staying healthy, obviously improving the little incrementally. But Iowa State, guys, I mean, Iowa State's well-deserving. Michigan, despite that loss, is still very well-deserving. There's quite a few teams. UConn's healthier now. Michigan's not going anywhere. And despite that loss, you said Purdue took it home. Other than that, I mean, they've been gangbusters as well. So there's 5-10 teams right now in the country who are in that conversation to cut the nets down in March. Arizona's just got the best resume for the undefeated teams remaining. Iowa State's got that one great win. Arizona's got 5 really good wins on their resume as well.
We've got a lot to get into today. We're going to talk some Arizona football. We didn't really necessarily get to drive in too much to the Holiday Bowl last week, just kind of due to the scheduling and some things with our shows and me not being here. But we're going to talk to Seth Doege coming up here in this hour, the offensive coordinator for your Arizona Wildcats. We'll get Seth's thoughts on how things went down in the Holiday Bowl, his first season here as the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Wildcats, all these tight ends that they've signed. I don't know if he can talk about them yet, but we'll ask and see if he's they've already brought in 3 tight ends on this transfer portal class, which is actually ranked pretty high according to our friends over at On3 right now. The Wildcats, let me double check. Last time I looked, it was 6th in the conference, and they've dropped one. They've gone down to 7th now in terms of the transfer portal class in the conference. 10 players in, 10 players out so far for Arizona. Texas Tech, with all their money, all of a sudden, Texas Tech has a lot of money. They are number 1. Houston, number 2. Oklahoma State is number 3. Oklahoma State, obviously, some of these schools with the coaching changes obviously have, they've had 61 guys leave, 39 guys come in. West Virginia, Rich Rod's second year, 40 guys have left, 24 have come in already. BYU is 5th, 12 out, 7 in. Colorado 6th, 34 out, 25 in. And Arizona so far is 7th on that list, 10 out, 10 in. So not bad considering it's a 16-team lead. You want to definitely be in that upper echelon in terms of everything you do, whether it's the transfer portal, whether it's the high school recruits. You want to be in the upper half of that in terms of this conference, and that is where the Arizona Wildcats are. So we'll dive into some of those guys and get Seth Doege's thoughts on that coming up. Also, later in the show, we're going to chat with, normally we talk with Glenn Howe on Tuesdays. We're going to shift Glenn Howe later in the week. This week, we'll probably talk, we'll do our final Wildcat breakdown on Thursday this week. We're going to have John Court will join us in the 5 o'clock hour. He is the head coach of Arizona Gymnastics. They got their season off Friday night in fine fashion with an upset of the number 6 Washington Huskies. The Gym Cats beat the Gym Dogs. We always love to see that. So we will talk to John Court and get his thoughts on that. Also, don't forget, big race weekend here in Southern Arizona. Chilly Willy happening out at the Speedway this weekend. We're going to talk some racing, probably maybe not today, but we'll get into that later in the week, Thursday, Friday. We'll get a few of the drivers on, and we'll talk some racing and get you set for Chilly Willy, the biggest small oval NASCAR race that we've got here in Southern Arizona annually. It's going to be a fun time out at the Speedway, and if you're excited, you're going to be out there. Want to hear from you at 520-848-1290. Let's get a break in. We'll chat with Seth Doege when we come back. Arizona football. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Campbell and Skyline. Skyline Drive and Campbell have a reported collision. We've got backups on westbound Fort Lowell approaching Campbell. Road work there. Stay left to get by. You could use Prince Road instead to save some time. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, 44 the overnight low, 75 sunny tomorrow, and 70 now. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you, gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense. Up to 70% off is the kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like, "Where have you been my whole life?" to a cardigan. Just take a deep breath, steady your cart, and try to act normal. But it's not possible. The savings are just too good. Shop new clearance markdowns now in-store and online at Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a Neighborly company. Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart Strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college.
I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum.
No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free.
No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me.
You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Noah Fifita has been as sharp. Well, he's been sharp for 5 games now.
Yeah.
Doing it again here today.
He's been razor sharp today.
Second touchdown of the season for the freshman. And Noah Fifita has just set the school record for career touchdown passes. That was number 68 for Noah.
And one of the men who helped Noah Fifita get to that goal this year was the first-year offensive coordinator for the Arizona Wildcats football team, brought in to start this season, coming off a 4-win season, helped lead the Wildcats to 9 wins. He joins us now on the program, Seth Dagey. Seth, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. I want to ask you just, we heard that highlight there. Obviously, Noah broke the record in the game in Cincinnati. Did you guys set goals at the beginning of the season? Was that something you talked about? We're going to go get this record this year. Here's something else we want to do. Do you set goals like that with your quarterbacks when you begin a season?
I let them basically set them themselves. So now what we did keep us together, what we did do together, we kept receipts of every single national media outlet not having him in a top 20 or a top 10 in the Big 12. I mean, we kept all those receipts just to motivate us. But I do a good job I think, letting those guys kind of pick their own goals and then holding them accountable to it, which Noah's awesome on that stuff. So he's his goals are to win a Rose Bowl and a national championship and the Heisman. So the standard of just breaking the school record, I know that was special to him, but honestly, he has bigger dreams and goals.
So then how do you guys begin then to map out what year 2 of this relationship is going to be? Have you started doing that? Was that is he the kid that came in the next day after you guys got back and said, all right, let's start looking at what 2026 is going to look like? What's that next step in this relationship for you guys to be even better next year than you were this year?
I think, you had everybody in the country probably pulling him to get in the portal. I mean, I've heard every single team. I've got buddies at different schools that have already told me, hey, man, we came after your guy, and he's loyal, and he didn't budge. So he was a very sought-after dude in this portal process. The greatest thing about him is one of his best qualities is how loyal he is. When he says he wants to be somewhere and when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. He loves the University of Arizona, and he loves our coaching staff, and he loves his teammates. And I think that's rare in today's college football world, is just having a quarterback that will finish what he started, not chase the money, knowing that the experience and his goals and dreams of sustaining success here at the University of Arizona, that means more to him than, an extra, it's kind of a big chunk of change that he's probably given up, but he loves this place. And like I said, I think he said it in one of his last interviews, is he has unfinished business. And when we talk about unfinished business, one thing that we sat down and talked about after the bowl game was, man, it was a special year. Believe me, it was a lot of work that went into that. And we overcame a lot of odds and a lot of circumstances to find a way to get to 9. That was really special. And that was special to him too. But that's not our goal, and that's not the standard that we wanted. Just getting a pat on the back of you guys did a great job. Y'all won 9 and had a chance to win 10. He came up just short, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't want to set that aside. Neither does he. Of that didn't take a lot of work, and we're not proud of what we've done. But for him specifically, he didn't come here to win 9 or 10 games. He came here to win a Big 12 championship, and he came here to win a Rose Bowl, and he came here to get into the Heisman race. So his goals and standards are extremely high. So that's what we've talked about. And kind of moving forward, how do we attack those things moving forward? Well, it starts with getting the right guys out of the portal, to surround him with some weapons, which I think we have so far.
Well, and I don't know how many of those guys you can talk about, but it seems like there's a lot of tight ends that are coming into the building.
Yeah, that's what that was one need for sure. And our tight ends coach, Coach Miller, I mean, he's one of the best in the business, in my opinion. And man, he's been attacking that thing like the University of Arizona is dependent on it, which it has. And he's done such a good job. And the guys we've signed are the right guys with the right type of skill set and the right fit from a mentality and a personality standpoint. And so I'm really excited about the guys that we're signing, especially at that position, because we needed them, just because we were low in numbers there.
We're chatting with Seth Doege, offensive coordinator for your Arizona Wildcats. So one of the things that I mean, obviously we're in a different era of college football. There's a lot of things people like, a lot of things people don't like. And one of the things that I said throughout the season that kind of stinks is the fact that, we didn't really get to know Chris Hudson and what he could do, because he was hurt early, and so he really didn't get going until game 5, 6. And then at the down the stretch, it was like, man, this kid is really good. And then a kid like Cameron Barmore, who didn't really get his opportunity until game 5 or 6. And then you look at him, down the stretch, and you're just like, man, and as a fan, I know a lot of people. It's like, wow, I wish we had that guy for one more year, because I really started liking what I was seeing from him. And in this world now, we don't always get that opportunity with some of these transfers who are going to be just one-year guys. We don't get that second opportunity with Chris Hudson to see what he could have blossomed into, win another year. We don't get that opportunity with Cam Barmore to see, man, what he could have done now with a full season of potentially being the guy. How do you deal with that as a coach? Just kind of stating off how fans are kind of like, wow, man, we don't get that opportunity. How do you deal with that? I mean, your situation is a little different because you guys at least saw them all through the spring, where maybe a lot of fans didn't even know who that was until, halfway through the season.
Yeah, I'm with you. If we had, because I think Chris Hudson should have been a 1,000-yard receiver if he was healthy. And I knew that going into the season, because the way he performed in fall camp was very impressive. And he's one of our hardest practice players throughout the entire team. So you knew on game day he was going to be ready to play. And then Cam Barmore, man, we got him in the spring, and we didn't quite know if he could do it or not, to be honest with you. But he just kept to the process, and he kept living by what Coach Miller was preaching. And that's, man, if we had Cam Barmore for one more year, he'd be an all Big 12 tight end. I mean, that guy's extremely talented, and he finally, like I said, figured out the physicality part to it. So he was making major impacts in the run game, which nobody really gets to see all that much. But obviously, Noah trusted him to throw him the ball in critical situations, and he made a ton of plays on those balls. So, man, like you said, I wish I had those guys back for a year or two. But unfortunately, the part for me and our coaching staff is is we kind of understand that, man, we got to get these guys right now. And that's the hardest thing about the portal is your speed dating, but you can't miss.
Right.
You know, and you got to do a great job with your intuition and feel of getting to know these kids from a personality standpoint, because obviously it's easy to eval the skill set, but it's hard to eval, like, okay, does this guy fit our culture? Can we recruit to our culture? Or are we going to have to, like, basically develop him into our culture? And developing into the culture within, 6 to 8 months, that's a little bit difficult to do, you know? So it's a lot easier to recruit to your culture with guys that are like-minded and built from the same, or, cut from the same cloth, for lack of a better term. But man, those guys were the right guys, and those guys were the right fit, and they obviously had made major impacts for our team this year. It's going to be tough to kind of replace them.
Seth Doege is our guest, Arizona Wildcats offensive coordinator. Seth, let's go back to San Diego. Offense got off to a little bit of a slow start. How did you just kind of break down what happened early and then what you guys were able to do to get it going after the break?
Yeah, that was, if you ask any of the offensive coaches as well as a lot of offensive players, man, that was probably one of our most embarrassing first halves of football, we had all year. And it was a combination of a lot of different things. It was a combination of penalties. It was a combination of lack of execution. It was a combination of putting ourselves in bad spots. It was a lack of, great calls. And when I needed to get them out of it, we just weren't helping each other. Where, I think as a plus caller to his players, sometimes I can call a mediocre play or a mediocre series, and those guys bail me out. Vice versa, I may call the best series and bail them out because, whatever, the scheme was perfect. We just didn't do that for each other that first half. And so it was a combination of a lot of things. We didn't make the plays when we needed to make the plays. I didn't make the calls when I needed to make the calls. And, we had some fourth down opportunities we didn't convert on. There was a lot of things, man. But that's where, what I'm really proud of, I'm not proud of, that one to me, and if you ask a lot of our players, that one probably hurt the most because we worked really hard for that opportunity. And going into that game, we practiced really hard and we game planned really hard. It wasn't taken lightly. And to kind of end it that way it doesn't sit well with us. And sometimes I think it's a blessing in disguise because I feel like as a coordinator, I'm more hungry than I've ever been. Maybe if we won 10, everybody be patting you on the back, telling you how great you are, and then all of a sudden you don't work as hard. Well, now we didn't win 10, and I feel like somewhat responsible because now I'm hungrier than I've ever been in my life. So, maybe it was a blessing in disguise for me, especially and some of our players like Noah. I know Noah feels, a certain type of way that didn't go down the way it should have gone down. Now, one thing I'm proud of is we went into halftime, looked in the mirror and said, everybody do your job and go out there and guess what's going to happen? We're going to have a chance to win this game. And that's exactly what happened. As we buckled down, made some big time plays and got ourselves, and so did the defense. Defense did a tremendous job in the second half as well. We ended up putting up 330 yards of total offense in 2 quarters, and 19 points and gave us a chance to actually score. And, if we get the ball back at the end, we get a chance to score and win that game. So I was really proud of our guys and the way they responded, but that just goes back to who we are and the culture that we've built, around Coach Brennan and his vision that we're not going to lay down. And that was a good defense. Now, there's $5 million on that defensive front from NIL. Like those guys weren't. They were a couple plays away from being in the college football playoffs. And to be honest with you, they beat the team that is in the championship right now. So they weren't just a lay down team, somebody that you're just going to go walk on. They were going to make you earn it, but I felt like in the second half we did, and obviously that's a positive. We're not going to lean on that, and we're not going to accept that I don't like participation awards, and that's just not going to sit well with us. But it also gave us an edge going into the off season, knowing that we're not ever going to let that thing happen again.
One thing I want to ask you about that fourth quarter, Seth, is we got a lot of folks that maybe didn't necessarily understand the pace because you guys got that ball right at the beginning of the fourth quarter and you went on that 8-minute drive to get the second touchdown. There were a lot of folks, the fans, that thought maybe that the pace wasn't quick enough. They're being down still 3 scores at that point. Speak to just the mindset of how that works and how maybe you don't want to rush a situation and how you're trying to figure out, okay, I've got 14 minutes. I need at least 3 scores, how we're going to navigate that.
Yeah, just by going on the feel of the game and understanding like I couldn't not score. Right. And so, it seemed like every time I did, because I took a lot of shots that game, or at least I called them, and they dropped every time. It seemed like every time I called a shot, they had a perfect call for it, and we just weren't getting behind them. So to try to create really explosive, I kept trying to call explosives, like we could throw it down the field, and they were covering it up, and Noah was going to have to scramble or he was going to take a sack. We couldn't do that, and so in my mind, we needed to put a efficient, effective drives together just to get points. I mean, it was a good defense. They were playing well that night, and I felt like, you know, as long as we continue, like, it wasn't that I didn't want to push the pace. It was every time I tried to push the pace, it seemed like we got in a bad situation. So I was just trying to keep us on the field. As long as we kept saying on the field and we kept getting first downs, we were going to have a chance to score. And of course, there was times where I wish like we were playing a little bit faster, of course. But you know, at the end of the day, I was just trying to score points to get us back into it.
We're joined by Seth Doege. Final few minutes with him. Seth, just as you guys obviously came right back, you're right into the evaluations and what now. Where just kind of where are we now in terms of, you know, how many more guys you think you're going to bring in? Constant calling, like what's the process at this point? You know, 2 weeks into the portal now, 10 days into the portal.
Man, I feel like we've done a great job. You know, overall, our staff does. I do think we evaluate extremely well. You know, I think, you know, we are competitive when it comes to resources, but sometimes we don't have all the resources that the kids are looking for, so we may get outbid at times. But we also win not having the highest number, and we win off of relationships. We win off being authentic and being ourselves and selling a vision of basically, let's say, let's go run this back. Let's go win a Big 12 this time. And I think the kids that we're bringing in understand that, and they want to be part of something like that. And it helps to have, you know, your starting quarterback coming back because he's an easy sell to receivers and tight ends and running backs. And honestly, to be honest with you, it's a sell to defensive players too, because you want to play with the best quarterback in the Big 12, because that dude gives you a chance to win every week. And so I think we have a few more spots that we're trying to fill out. We'll see how that goes, you know, these next couple of days. But our guys have done a great job of attacking this thing. I felt like we've signed some really, really quality players that are going to make big plays for us and be impact guys. But they also fit us. They fit us, like I told you guys earlier. They fit us from a culture standpoint. They fit us personality-wise, and they're selfless teammates that are bought into the right things, and all they want to do is win and help us win. So I'm excited about the guys we're bringing in.
When you look at what's happening at Indiana and what's happening at Vanderbilt and some of these places where, you know, 5 years ago, you know, you just said no way though either of those teams would be at the top of college football. Could Arizona be Indiana? I mean, you're talking about another basketball school. You're talking about two basketball schools here, and to see what they've done, could that happen here? And if so, what would it take in your mind?
No, I think sometimes the college football fan doesn't necessarily understand like what the money that goes into winning. Like Vanderbilt has real money. I mean, they have money to outbid Alabama now. You know, and obviously that's why they turned it around. Now, I'm not discrediting their coaches and their players, but you know, they're getting different type of players than they did back in the day. Indiana's getting different type of players back, you know, than they did back in the day. And so that's what, in my opinion, turns around those guys and gives those guys a chance to win national championships is obviously the type of caliber player they're bringing in. And then obviously they do a great job, both of those staffs, of pulling it all together and becoming a team and focuses on the process and finding a way to win games and playing good defense and being efficient. But the money part is part of it now. And they have tremendous resources. That's why they've made tremendous gains. Do I think University of Arizona can be in the college football playoff hunt? Absolutely. Because, you know, I do think we have a foundation here that people believe in and that these kids believe in. I think we have a quarterback that gives you a chance to win every week. I do think we still need to work on the resource part. It's just being blunt. We do need to because like I said, we've won on kids that we weren't the highest bidder. You know, and sometimes we lose on kids. Yeah. Because we're not the highest bidder. And that's okay, you know, because you want guys that want to be here, but you're going to lose on a kid that really could help you become something special just because you just don't have the same type of money to play with. But at the University of Arizona right now, we're going to find a way regardless. And like I said, I think we have support from our administration. We have a really genuine, authentic head coach that believes in this place and wants to be here for a long time. I think we have really good coaches that evaluate well, that love kids and coach kids hard. And like I said, we have a quarterback that believes. And you add that together, it doesn't matter what type of money's going in. You find a way just like we did this year. And we just got to do it a couple more times. And next thing you know, we are in those talks.
Seth, hey, we appreciate you taking some time to join us. Congratulations again on a great first season here. Looking forward to the continuing building of this relationship with you and this school, this university, this program, Noah Fifita at quarterback, and all those new guys are going to be coming here to play on this offense in 2026. We look forward to watching it. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Seth Doege, offensive coordinator for your Arizona Wildcats. Good stuff there. 520, what'd you think of what he said there? The resources, the quarterback. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, that's the one thing that gives you a lot of hope for next season is you've got the quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, there'll be people that'll debate that, but one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the Big 12, but one of the best quarterbacks in the country coming back next season to lead your offense. That is so key. We'll talk about that on the other side. 520.
At coaching, also Dragon Ball is helpful
yes,
for next season.
There you go. Stability is always a good thing in the coaching realm as well. 520-848-1290, DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and weather together. Campbell and Skyline collision at Skyline and Campbell. Backups on eastbound I-10 approaching Emperita Road due to road work. 44, the overnight low, 75, sunny skies tomorrow, and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed
with this rare hologram trading card. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. eBay had it. They even had
the perfect parts that fit my car.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee?
No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum.
No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within one day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free.
No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me.
You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it, your neighbor's kid does it, and yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword. Fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Robinhood, your money, your move. Aaron Rodgers looked absolutely miserable in last night's playoff loss to the Texans, but I find it hard to believe that it's the last we've seen of the four-time MVP. He still finished the season with 24 touchdowns and just under 3,500 yards passing. If teams are calling Phillip Rivers, someone will call Aaron Rodgers. I'm Adam Abdallah.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
These.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. About some baseball news today. The Arizona Diamondbacks have a new third baseman.
Swing, drive, hit high in the air to left. Nolan Arenado walks him off. Drive to the warning track in left center his first time. He's 0 for 1. Swing and a drive. He ambushed. That ball is gone. 2-run homer for Arenado. We got a ball game.
The Diamondbacks today made a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals to get Nolan Arenado, 8-time All-Star third baseman, for cash considerations. They also received, the Cardinals, I should say, received minor league right-hander Jack Martinez in the deal. Martinez went to Arizona State, drafted last year by the Diamondbacks. So
coincidentally, that's where Nolan Arenado would have gone because that's where he signed prior to being drafted and going straight to the major leagues.
There you go. Signed to go to ASU.
Yep.
All right. 34 years old. Has 2 seasons left on a huge contract. 8 years, $260 million. 2025 was not a great year for him at the plate. Career lows in batting average, 237, on-base percentage, 289, slugging percentage, 377, and OPS, 666. He hit just 12 home runs and 52 RBIs in 107 games, missing parts of 6 weeks plus with an injured shoulder.
And on the other side, right, like we all know Gold Gloves is the best fielding positional player, so Gold Gloves for all 9 positions on the field. Platinum Gloves, a new thing they started about 15 years ago. 2011 was the first year. Guys, Nolan Arenado's been voted 9 times as the best defensive player in his league.
Platinum Glove.
Platinum, best defensive player overall in each league. AL and NL each get one Platinum Glove winner each year. Yadier Molina is the only other player in the conversation with 4, and Arenado's got 9.
Yeah, no, in hockey, you typically have like the certain awards that are named after specific players for their consistent dominance at a position. We got the Rocket Richard for the most goals scored in a single season, or most goals scored throughout the year, goes to that particular award winner. We're getting to a point now where Nolan Arenado's name is going to be the Platinum Glove Award. That's just how consistent he's been in the hot corner. Arguably, I would say the hardest. DK, would you say that the hot corner and third base is the hardest infield position to play defense?
Depends how many righties are in the lineup, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you see that they desperately need to fill out that infield in Arizona. Seeing the fact that Nolan was willing to forego his no-trade clause. That's the other part about this contract, DK. It's a very expensive one, but it also had that no-trade clause attached to it, meaning Nolan waived it for the chance to play in Arizona, which means that he saw that there's a chance to do something here with the Diamondbacks, and maybe that's enough to go ahead and get other free agents to say, okay, if Nolan sees something here, maybe other guys will want to go ahead and join in, because, again, you're always talking about you can never have enough relief pitching. You can always get a couple of extra hands in the outfield, which also is a spot that they desperately need to get a little bit of depth in. But if you get a guy as league respected as Nolan Arenado to say, I would waive my no trade clause to come play here specifically, that's a big boon to the Diamondbacks right now, as we're still kind of waiting for those first big hits in the winter meetings.
And they got, I read $31 million in addition to help pay for that big contract, DK.
No Diamondback has ever won this award. They just started giving it out in 2011, and it's actually an award that's voted on by the fans. So I won't get into my diatribe about, like, I never trust anything that's voted on by the fans. But regardless, this award is there. He won it for 7 straight seasons, starting in 2017. Arenado, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. That's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Fan
5,
voting for
7,
all-star players is just a popularity contest. But, like, who's tipping the scales to give a guy best defensive player in a league? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless there are 100 million, because he wasn't with – St. Louis has a huge fan base, but it's not like he was there forever. I think, Gold Gloves is obviously the pinnacle, of defending in Major League Baseball. If you are if you're a person who consistently can pick up Gold Gloves, then obviously you're a person respected defensively at that position. So that's the best measure, and he's won many Gold Gloves as well. I just thought it was fascinating. I mean, you would think that would be an award, DK, that would flip-flop and switch places between many, many players over the course of the last...
Especially if it's fan voted.
Exactly. Because, popularity, and everybody has up and down seasons.
So maybe that's why. Again, you look at the fact that Yadier Molina won it 4 times in 5 years. St. Louis, a big fan base there with the Cardinals. I'm surprised that Nolan Arenado won it that many times, considering he played in Denver for the majority of those years. Not to say that Denver fans are not strong, but they're not considered one of the better, more powerful fan bases.
No, that's what I mean, is that there is no single fan base that could lift him up to that award 6 consecutive times. It would have to be league-wide fans across the league respect how good he is at that hot corner and respect that and say, hey, if I got to pick one guy in the league who's the guy who is the most reliable defensively overall, it's going to be him.
And if you're going to find highlight tapes of defensive plays in baseball, you're more than likely going to look up third baseman highlights, because those are the ones where everyone says, oh, those are the tip your cap moments versus, with Yadi, it's a matter of, is he throwing guys out from home to second?
Either that or Greg Maddux.
Yes, it's one or the other. So seeing Nolan, but again, the biggest thing out of this, DK, you get another solid hand in the infield for a team that needed to get solid in the infield, as that was one of the major issues with their roster building from last year to this one. If you get a guy, again, he hasn't been an everyday third baseman for quite some time in his career. Again, he's had a couple injury issues since he went to St. Louis, but he's a guy that you can say from day one, that's our starting day third baseman. And he's the guy that we're going to put into that that lineup, either hitting maybe 4. He's definitely not a 3 or 4 hitter anymore. He can probably hit 5. He may even be able to go up to 2, depending if you can get that contact swing back in him. That'll be a big thing to look at during the spring training.
So the Diamondbacks had the most errors of any Major League Baseball team last year at third. 24.
A lot of those guys that are playing third base that are coming back this season, maybe playing in the outfield to get them away from
right.
the
So it's more like addressing a need, and we know, we know what they're all about. They're all about, pitching, defense, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So many close games.
No, this is a deal. I guarantee you. I can feel very confident in saying, rather, Mike Hazen has been talking to St. Louis since the jump to get this deal done.
Your Bobby Witt, your Platinum Gold Glove winners this past year, Bobby Witt Jr. from the Kansas City Royals in the American League, shortstop, and Fernando Tatis Jr., San Diego outfielder, right fielder. Those were your winners this past year. So a couple of juniors whose dads played in the big leagues. And they should know how to defend, having played catch with major leaguers all their lives. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. If you disagree with the Platinum Glove Award winners, who did you vote for if you casted a vote? I did not cast a vote. I did not know fans could vote for this. I don't really vote for in those things, though. I stopped voting for the All-Star game when I was like 11 years old because I thought the fact that the fans were allowed to do it was kind of stupid.
I remember when it would cost you 50 cents a text to put in your vote for All-Star game.
50 cents a text. My gosh. What year was that? 2004 or 5?
2005, 2004, maybe.
Wow. All right. What did they say? Rates may apply. Rates may apply. Exactly. Much more coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to talk some Arizona gymnastics in the 5 o'clock hour. John Court will join us. And also, is there anything better than disgruntled Philadelphia fan? We've got more on that front coming up in the next hour. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Dragon Ball is here with everything happening in sports and in Southern Arizona as well as around the world.
Well, again, the Arizona Wildcats get themselves ready for their next contest after being voted nearly unanimously the number 1 team in the country in the AP poll, getting 60 out of 61 votes for the top spot. But now the men's basketball team prepare for a familiar face in the school up north in ASU this Wednesday. And Tommy Lode spoke on looking forward to what he expects to be another tightly contested game in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful, for great competition because that's what drives this. And so far this year, I mean, our guys have had a lot of answers, but that doesn't mean we should have hubris and think that just because we've done it a few times that we're going to do it again, because Wednesday's game is going to present a lot of challenges. The moment that ball goes up, there's going to be challenges, and we're going to have responses and solutions to those challenges.
And again, tip for that contest will be around 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. Again, major news from the Diamondbacks. You just heard us talk about it. They announced that they've completed a trade with St. Louis to bring in 8-time All-Star Nolan Arenado on a deal and has St. Louis receiving pitching prospect Jack Martinez as well as cash considerations. Again, Martinez was drafted by the club last summer, but Arenado agreed to waive his no-trade clause for this deal. Looks to be an easy choice to start at third base this season as he has 2 years left on his contract, but is hoping to boost his hitting after having a career-low .666 OPS last season. And the end of an era has come for another coach in the NFL and many coordinator positions as well around the NFL. The Steelers announced that Mike Tomlin, after 19 years on the job, will be stepping down from his spot as head coach. Firings around the league for many key coordinators announced as the Chargers have fired offensive coordinator Greg Roman and Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo after 1 year on the job there. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tune in Wednesday, January 14th as your top-ranked Arizona Wildcats host that School Up North at McHale Center.
Del Orso slaps it home. He did what?
Pregame starts at 5 p.m. and tip-off is scheduled for 8:30 p.m. on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Stone Avenue north of Speedway at Stone Avenue and Drachman for a collision. Some backups on the southbound I-19 frontage road approaching Irvington. Backups Ajo and Mission westbound and southbound. More slowing southbound La Cholla at Ajo Way. 44 the overnight low, 75 sunny tomorrow and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed
with this rare hologram trading card. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. eBay had it. They even had
the perfect parts that fit my car.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Stay connected while you're on the go with the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. Listen to Arizona Wildcats play-by-play. Get the latest news on your teams and more, all in one place. Download Wildcats Radio 1290 app from the App Store or Google Play today. Wildcats Radio 1290 app is sponsored by Goodfellas Home Solutions.
For quality, honesty, and service you can count on, call Goodfellas Home Solutions. Because when you need help around the house, we can fix it. Need a kitchen or bathroom makeover? Dealing with a clogged drain, leaky faucet, or sewer issue? We'll take care of it fast. We handle just about anything under your roof. Goodfellas Home Solutions. GoodfellasAC.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. DK on the Sports Tip. So glad that you could be with us on this Tuesday. Tomorrow's a basketball day. We will have coverage of Arizona men's basketball and the ASU Sun Devils from McHale Center. And that'll be a 5 o'clock pregame show, 8:30 tip-off, a late one tomorrow night. So, go out and, as Tommy likes to say, go out and have some dinner, get lathered up, and then come to McHale Center to scream your head off for the number one team in the country. Thursday and Friday, we'll be back with regular shows. And then Saturday, another game day for you as the Wildcats head down to Orlando, Florida to take on the UCF Golden Knights, who are actually having a pretty good season so far. They're one of the teams that is 2-1. There are 4 teams right now in conference that are 3-0, and there are another 4 teams that are 2-1, and Central Florida is one of those teams so far through the first 3 games of the conference schedule. So 5 teams are all right there sniffing on first place, with the Wildcats leading that pack as the number one team in the country. Should be fun to watch as we continue to play this whole thing out. As Tommy said, I don't even know who we play after Central Florida. And I'm with him. I'm like that too. I don't look too far in advance. I know we play ASU tomorrow, Central Florida on Saturday. I have no idea who we play next. Do we play again next Wednesday? I don't know. I'm like Tommy. I have no idea who we play next week. Got to keep a short view, as they say, a short view as you move through this college basketball season. So Tommy Lloyd had a chance. How about this? Had a chance to speak in front of the state legislature yesterday. He and the football coach up at Arizona State University, Kenny Dillingham, both got a chance to address lawmakers here at the beginning of the first 2026 legislative session at the state capitol. How about that for your head coach of the Arizona Wildcats and the football coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, for them to bring those 2 guys in? Let's hear a little bit of, I don't know if we'll get through this whole thing because Tommy talked for 8 minutes, but let's hear a little bit of what Tommy had to say to the state legislature on Monday.
Now we have Coach Tommy Lloyd, the U of A basketball head coach. Coach Tommy Lloyd is in his 5th season as the head coach at Arizona, where he leads the undefeated number 1 ranked college basketball team in the country. He has the NCAA record for most wins by a head coach in his first 2 seasons, after serving as assistant coach at Gonzaga for 22 seasons prior to his arrival in Tucson. He has instilled a fast, fun, and energetic style of play inside the McHale Center. inside the McHale Center. I'm trying to go fast here because I'm excited to hear him. In his first season as head coach, in 2021 and 22, he was named National Coach of the Year by the NABC, USBWA, and the Associated Press, becoming the first Arizona men's basketball head coach to win any of those awards. In the summer of 2024, Lloyd led USA Basketball's U18 team to a 6-0 record on the way to the gold medal. And the FIBA, I'm going to say that, AmeriCup in Argentina. He followed that by guiding the U19 team to the top of the podium after a perfect 7-0 mark at the 2025 FIBA U19 World Cup in Switzerland, alongside Arizona freshman Koa Pete. Lloyd and his wife, Chanel, have 3 children, Liam, Sophia, and Maria, and 1 grandchild, Luca. Coach Lloyd, please join us.
Thank you, Speaker. I needed that hype speech. I think the first order of business is, can we get the heat turned up in here? I think we can all agree on that, all parties. Kenny, you crushed it. Just winged it. That was big time. I wrote down a few things. I hope this isn't the Arizona State Scouting Report for Wednesday. I hope I grabbed the right paper. But good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And thank you for your service to this great state. I want to start with a simple premise. Talent is the new currency. In today's world of college athletics, you can only thrive if you can attract talent, develop talent, and as important, retain talent. I believe the same things apply when it comes to our state. That is why I love Arizona, because it is uniquely positioned to do all 3 of those things. Attracting talent here is not a hard sell. We have world-class weather. We have amazing natural beauty. We have innovations happening across our universities, our businesses, and our communities. And we have people, genuine, welcoming, hardworking people who make this state a great place to call home. Developing talent is essential for good leaders. It requires the humility of a growth mindset, the discipline to make consistent progress the top priority, and I'm sure all of you here today have a strong relationship with development. But retention, that is our real challenge. People don't stay somewhere just because it looks good on the outside. They stay because of how it feels on the inside. People may come to Arizona for the weather, but they stay because of the people who create the culture. In my world, college basketball, how it feels on the inside is everything. It's what keeps players committed when things get hard. It's what keeps coaches invested. It's what allows teams, businesses, and institutions to sustain success rather than just touch it briefly. And the same is true for our state. And you are the ones who create and cultivate this culture, so 7.6 million Arizonans can experience and enjoy it on a daily basis. How it feels on the inside is what retains people. What I love most about Arizona is that I believe this is a place where values still matter and where those values align with my own. At its best, Arizona is a state built on great people and healthy environments. Environments where leaders serve others, not themselves. Where success is about something we can all benefit from. Where people are held accountable, but also supported. When I think about Arizona, I think about people who are honest, steady, hardworking, and trustworthy. To me, that is what defines an Arizonan. And when I think about the people I want to be around, whether they are student athletes, coaches, entrepreneurs, elected officials, or business leader, those are the type of people I want to be associated with. People who show up every day, people who do the right thing when no one is watching, people who understand that trust is built slowly and lost quickly. That kind of feel on the inside doesn't happen by accident. It's not a strategy. It's not a public relations headline. It is tough work, shaped every day by leadership decisions, by policy choices, and by the tone we all set at the top. The choices made in my office and yours matter far beyond our walls. They matter to a high school student deciding where to attend college. They matter to a young professional deciding whether to build a career here or somewhere else. They matter to a family deciding whether Arizona is the place they want to put down roots. Talent wants opportunity, yes. But talent also wants integrity, stability, vision, and purpose. When people believe in the environment they're stepping into, they commit more fully, they invest more deeply, they stay longer, and when they stay, they help build something that lasts. Arizona has all the ingredients to be the best place in the country to attract, develop, and retain talent in athletics, in academics, and in the corporate world. But our true competitive advantage will not be our weather or our geography. It will be our culture. It will be what it feels like on the inside. It will be whether people believe this is a place where leadership is steady, people are good, institutions are trustworthy, and success is pursued the right way. If we get this right, if we lead out of love, not fear, demand integrity, and dream big, Arizona won't just be a magnet for talent, it will retain it. And those people who choose to live here will build something that benefits the state long after we are all gone. As leaders in this state, I hope you value others, create value, and as important, feel valued. Because it's not about winning every game. It's about being undefeated at doing the right thing every time. In closing, the work you do in this session matters and will set the tone for how the citizens of Arizona feel on the inside. I know that you will take this responsibility seriously, and the Arizona men's basketball program wants to thank you for your service, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for believing in what Arizona can continue to be. Bear down, go Cats.
Right. How about that? How about that, Cricket? Your basketball coach speaking in front of the opening day ceremony of the 57th state legislature.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy going before the politicals yesterday.
Right on.
Have
Good
you ever
job.
had a chance to speak in front of a big crowd like that? That not behind a
on the
not
radio?
behind a microphone in front of that bear to the big masses, but actually in public like that, in a public setting. Were you a public speaker? So many of us that got into this business were public speakers. I think growing up, were you one of those kids or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you? But you weren't a thespian though. You didn't do like plays and stuff.
No,
Yeah.
I would be like him. Like I would be reading like something put together, not like acting out lines.
Yeah,
or
I was
anything.
surprised. Tommy's very unscripted, but he went scripted in that. Nobody really asked that. He talked a little bit about it in his press conference. We'll play those remarks coming up a little bit later. But I was surprised he went scripted in that respect in front of the legislature versus his usual unscripted style.
Talking to a group of sweaty reporters in a press room he's been doing for 25 years, talking to the legislature in the opening day at the Arizona State. I think he wanted to keep his thoughts together on the page. That's what it sounded like to me.
Not forget anything.
Have you ever wanted to run for office, Cricket?
No.
No? Did you ever run for anything in grade school or high school? Were you ever student council or anything like that?
I think so, but it's been so long. But I was probably like treasurer or like some, I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know.
They allowed you to touch the money?
There was really no money. It was probably a bunch of change. It was probably a
Just
bunch
some
of,
quarters and a few nickels
and pennies,
here.
yeah, something like that.
Just enough to get a few pieces of candy at the school bookstore.
Some Bazooka
Did
Joe.
you guys have one of those double door things where you could go buy candy or something, and somebody would sell candy? It was like those double doors where the top opens but the bottom stays closed kind of deals.
We did it Orange Grove had one of those.
Yeah.
But past that era, I think once you got into the mid-90s or whatever, I think it was a lot more convenient to leave campus. So I think a lot of campuses kind of did away with those bar double doors, old Western style, with the upper doors where somebody got stuck in there for 30 minutes to give out treats.
Exactly. Those were the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
But then open campus came and everybody just went wherever they wanted to go.
Bring cash for the vending machine, kid.
Right. There you go. All right. Cricket is getting you home now every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. On 22nd Street near Swan and Rosemont, there's a speed enforcement zone. Watch your speed on 22nd Street near Swan and Rosemont. Collision Stone Avenue, north the Speedway, Stone Avenue and Dreckman. And for your weather, 44 the overnight low, 75 sunny tomorrow, and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by IHOP. Introducing the IHOP Value Menu. All your breakfast favorites like pancakes, eggs, bacon, or French toast are just $6 every day. Get a big, filling sit-down breakfast for only $6. Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Winter Sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 9th through the 19th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Everyone loves a backyard barbecue, but who has the time? I'm Josh Bishop, owner of Fork and Fire in Oro Valley and Catalina. My brother, best friend, and I have been cooking for one another and our neighbors for years, and we still get to live our passion every day at Fork and Fire. In Oro Valley, you'll discover bold, smoky brisket, ribs, pulled pork, and many creative dishes paired with local craft beers on tap and specialty cocktails. Fork and Fire, your neighborhood backyard barbecue, where great food meets good times and strong community. Join us today at Fork and Fire, Oro Valley, and in Catalina.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Ogden Nation.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
I grew up in a broken home, and I remember being homeless and being pregnant in Tucson. I remember being scared, and I went to Gospel Rescue Mission at Christmas time. And that was when everything changed. The gospel did more than just keep me sober. I started finding myself. Hi, I'm Christina, and I've been clean and sober for almost 6 years.
Go to grmtucson.com to give today.
Hi, I'm Mike Yam with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Wildcard weekend came to a close Monday night. The Texans punching their ticket to the divisional round with a 30-6 victory over the Steelers. That Texans defense, it led the way. 2 scores, including a pick 6 off of Aaron Rodgers late in the fourth quarter. On the offensive side, Christian Kirk, they racked up 8 receptions for a career-high 144 yards and a score. Divisional weekend, it kicks off Saturday. The Bills traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. at 4:30 Eastern, followed by the Seahawks hosting the Niners at 8 Eastern. Then on Sunday, the Houston Texans travel to Foxborough. They will match up against the Patriots at 3 Eastern, and then it's the Rams and the Bears that will cap divisional weekend when they face at 6:30 Eastern at Soldier Field. Some coaching news: John Harbaugh search for a new home. Well, we'll find out where it's going to be, completing his first interview with the Falcons. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us, text us, get in on the show today. DK on the Sports Tip. So we heard from Tommy Lloyd and his speech yesterday at the opening of the legislative session here, all the state legislators up in the state capitol. And Tommy spoke, as well as Kenny Dillingham. Today, Tommy spoke again about his experience over up at the state capitol, and he actually had to put on a sport coat. I mean, again, the coaches don't dress up anymore, so we don't really get a chance to see Tommy that much in a sport coat. He didn't wear a tie, neither did Kenny Dillingham, but Tommy was asked how different it was to actually have to put on a sport coat for once.
Yeah, not normal. Yeah, but, you get an opportunity to do something, that's important to a lot of people, probably more important to a lot of people than it is to me. But yeah, you don't want to be disrespectful. So I have one hidden in the closet somewhere, but Bruce, I'm not wearing it for you.
It seems like you talk a lot about culture with this team. Was that kind of what you were trying to adapt there?
Well, for sure. I think, culture is a buzzword. And I don't want to I'm not going to go through my entire belief system today, but, when you get an opportunity to do something like that, you want to represent yourself, you want to represent your program, and, you want to talk about things you're passionate about and that you believe in. And, we got a lot going on in our world today, and anytime you get a chance to talk to leaders, and I don't know a lot about politics, so, I'll be honest there. It's not really a focus of mine. But you want to make sure the people that are representing us, have integrity, are honest, care about others more than themselves, I think all that stuff, and I'm sure everything I said has been said before, but, I wanted to make sure that, if I got, my moment in the sun, that those were going to be the things that I wanted to hang my hat on.
There you go. Tommy Lloyd talking about his experience there in front of the state legislature. A really cool experience, I would imagine, for the head coach of the Arizona men's basketball team to get a chance to participate in that process as the legislative branch begins their first session of the 2026 calendar year. I followed up by it, and I asked him, how he got a chance to do that, and he basically said that they reached out to him and asked him if he would come up and be a part of it, and he said that he absolutely didn't want to turn that opportunity down. So good to see Tommy Lloyd up and doing and participating in that process there. 520-848-1290. If you have any thoughts on what you heard Tommy Lloyd say there to the state legislature, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what he said and what you thought of his comments there before the body. Now, we have gotten the Final Four in each of the NFL conferences, the AFC and the NFC. The NFC Final Four is not going to include the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champions, Super Bowl champions last year after they knocked off the Kansas City Chiefs. Philadelphia losing on Sunday, as you can imagine, never sits. Any Philadelphia sports team losing does not sit well with the fans of that city. We've heard this before, and we got another taste of it this past weekend. Check out, this is 11-year-old Sam Salvo, who was interviewed by ABC Philadelphia, Channel 6, WPVI, one of my favorite news stations to watch when I go back to visit the family in Philadelphia. He was interviewed by one of the reporters after the game. Here is what he had to say.
Yes, this was a huge letdown. This was my Christmas present, and I got a loss.
Oh, no. You probably would have rather had Cole, huh?
Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, like, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, like, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Why do you say that?
Whenever he's an offensive coordinator, it's like he's flipping burgers. One side, he's cooking. One half he's cooking, and the other half is completely raw.
One half he's cooking, and the other half is completely raw.
He got his other Christmas wish.
He
Kevin
did.
Patullo was
He did.
relieved of his offensive coordinator duties. So, I mean, give him credit. He foresaw that.
Oh, yeah. The offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, no longer the Eagles' offensive coordinator after what was a very uneven season for their offense. So just to kind of give you some of the numbers in that respect, they dropped from 27, or they dropped from 27.2 in terms of points per game this year. That was ranked 7th last year, to 22 points this year. So they fell from 7th to 19th there. They also had a dip. They were 4th best last year in offensive efficiency last year. They fell to 19th this year. And their rushing attack went from 179 yards per game last year, which was second best in the NFL, to 18th this year, averaging just 117 yards. Is there anything better than disgruntled Philly fan?
There's not that many fan bases that I can think of that have just the most apropos way of explaining their frustrations as Philadelphia sports fan. I mean, again, you mentioned this because you have such a very, very high regard for Phillies fans when they lose, because that was the video that made you really kind of love these Philly fans, where they're like, oh, get rid of Trey Turner. We went further than we did with this guy last year. Yeah, and they're just always so quick to react. And I have a friend of mine that I went to college. I had a radio show with him, Terrell. He is a Philadelphia Eagles fan. The minute that he had anything happen wrong with the Eagles, he would say, fire the head coach, trade all these players. It was a list. And after every loss, I would make sure to go to, so who's getting fired and who's getting traded tonight? And he would just immediately start shooting off 3 different people. And it would always be off the cuff. It seems like it's ingrained in them to have those things ready to go.
So I want to take you back to October of 2023 when Phillies fans really lost their minds after losing a chance to go to the World Series to your Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll come back to that one. That one apparently does not want to play. Let's see if we can get.
We had home field for 2 games, and you let them come here and beat us.
Phillies need to sell Trey Turner. That guy's a f***ing idiot. We went farther without that guy. The Phillies, honestly.
Trade the whole f***ing team. This team f***ing blew today.
I want to say that I'm f***ing depressed. I had to ask 9 people for this f***ing cigarette.
Philly fans, we always stink.
Disappointment.
Oh, man, that was just straight garbage.
This sucks.
I hope they never can play a baseball game again.
Fire Topper. Topper! What's up, man?
Feeling like I want to go lay in traffic.
All them because I couldn't get a hit when we needed it.
I love how we spent $700 million for guys to go 0 for 12 combined.
Let's go Jets.
It's a good point.
I'm feeling good because, we still got the birds.
Go Birds!
Go Birds!
Hit the f***ing ball, man. Come on, really? Hit the f***ing ball.
Overpaid.
That.
Hey, wait, where'd you get this banana?
From a homeless guy.
Hey, how do we feel about Dancing on My Own as a song moving forward?
You gotta cut it. Time to retire. Find something new.
Still fires up the crowd.
Well, I'm pretty sure it didn't work this year, so it's gotta go.
I'm crying instead of dancing.
I get song. They need to ditch that. I don't want to hear that song ever again.
How about you shut up?
At least young Sam Salvo was not dropping a bunch of F-bombs. Can we hear Sam one more time?
Yes, this was a huge letdown. This was my Christmas present, and I got a loss.
Oh, no. You probably would have rather had Cole, huh?
Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, like, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, like, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Why do you say that?
Whenever he's an offensive coordinator, it's like he's flipping burgers. One side, he's cooking. One half, he's cooking. And the other half is completely raw.
I love the reporter there. She's like, oh, you probably just would have wanted a coal in your stocking instead. Like, who would have come up with that line right there?
Probably would have been the same lady that was in charge of the Jacksonville Jaguars post-game press conference.
Oh, yeah. We haven't gotten to that yet. But if we have time, we'll get into that in the 5 o'clock hour. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I tell you, it's better when Philadelphia teams lose because we just get comic relief from the fans of Philadelphia. Cricket is she's funny, but she's not. She's very serious when it comes to the traffic, and she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported on Sahuarita Road at I-19, Ina and Mona Lisa. Westbound on Ajo at La Cholla, expect backups and a stay left to get by in a crash on Stone Avenue north of Speedway at Stone and Drackman. 44 the overnight low, 75 sunny tomorrow, and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places to take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Celebrate Happy Honda Days at AutoNation Honda Tucson. Save up to $7,500 on pilots, leases starting at $399 a month, and enjoy incredible rates on 2025 and 2026 models. Visit us off Wetmore and Automall Drive today.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things.
Like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that.
You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest. For a year.
365 days.
12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks.
He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun.
I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new?
Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at AlaskanAC.com.
En garde! Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
I grew up in a broken home, and I remember being homeless and being pregnant in Tucson. I remember being scared, and I went to Gospel Rescue Mission at Christmas time. And that was when everything changed. The gospel did more than just keep me sober. I started finding myself. Hi, I'm Christina, and I've been clean and sober for almost 6 years.
Go to grmtucson.com to give today.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Robinhood, your money, your move. Congratulations to LeBron James, who last night debuted a new patch on his jersey. It celebrates his 23rd season in the NBA. He's the only player in the league who has a special patch on his jersey. As always with LeBron, it's all about LeBron. Also, the Lakers lost last night to the Kings, 124-112. I'm Chris Black.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our first season as your home in Southern Arizona for Carolina Panthers football has come to an end.
Panthers lead by 4. Stafford has had an MVP season. He has not looked like the MVP today. He's in the shotgun. Takes the snap. 4-man rush over the middle. Caught by Williams. He's got the 5 and hurtles into the end zone for a Rams touchdown. LA takes a 26-24 lead with 8:47 to go in the fourth.
And the Rams would win that game 34-31 over the Carolina Panthers on the road in front of a raucous crowd at Bank of America Stadium, ending the Panthers' run in the postseason on Wild Card Weekend. Matthew Stafford finished 24-42, 304 yards. He threw 3 touchdown passes in the game. Bryce Young 264, 1 touchdown. Teto McMillan, 5 catches, 81 yards in his first ever playoff game. Lathan Ransom had 1 tackle to finish out his first year playing in the National Football League. Let's hear from Lathan Ransom and just his thoughts on year number 1 playing in the NFL.
I'm from Ohio State. You guys have a pretty deep fan base, to say the least. What have you seen from this Carolina fan base that just kind of gives you, hope going into the next year? I know this is your first year, so you don't really have anything to compare it to, but just kind of seeing these two states have something to rally for.
Yeah, I think just seeing from what it was at the beginning of the year to what it was at the end is completely different. At the end, the last couple games we had here was some of the best atmospheres I've ever played in, including, Ohio State. So I'm excited to, what's to come next year, and we're excited to bring some exciting football back.
What'd you learn about yourself this season?
Just, continue what I learned every season, how to face adversity, how learn a lot about, new defenses, new schemes, a new role, how to be in a new role. So, that was exciting for me to learn, and can't wait to build on that.
This rookie class had so many contributors. What are you guys talking about heading into the offseason of this core and what you guys are building in the direction you're moving?
I think build on just being contributors to being, leaders and dudes that, the defense can lean on, the offense can lean on. So, I can't wait to, come back with my rookie class and not be rookies no more, and move not like we're rookies anymore. So that's what I'm excited for.
Do you have a core memory from this season?
I have a lot of great memories from this season. I think yesterday, Mike got that pick, me running down chasing him after was exciting. So, stuff like that. And then just being the younger dude in the room, all the older guys, gave me just being the young guy was fun. So I'm tired of that though. So. Yeah, Trayvon, one of my closest friends on the team, definitely been someone I can look up to, like an older brother to me. So, he's been great for me. Him and Nick and all the older guys have been good for me to develop and learn a lot. And I'm excited to come back and play with them next year.
Next, I ask you what you learned about yourself this year. What did you learn about this league going through the season and all the things that you had? Because I'm sure it was different as a full-time player as opposed to being at Ohio State.
Just people talk about it's a business and it's cutthroat, and then you really see it. So that's definitely what I learned a lot is just, seeing it firsthand was, kind of crazy and definitely, yeah, that's it.
It felt like you guys got a lot of respect last night after that performance nationally, from people outside the locker room. What is that going from the underdog to the team that now maybe might be picked high in the NFC South, might be picked to go to the playoffs? How does that change maybe the pressure or the mentality now?
I really don't feel like it changes the pressure, but mentality, we was hungry from the jump. And then, that was just last night was just a little speck of what we can be. So I think just come in with that same hunger that we had this year. And at the end of the day, we didn't achieve what we wanted to. And making it to the playoffs is one thing, but, making a run is a different. And that's what we want to do, and that's what we come here for. So we're excited, for the opportunity next year.
Derek said last night that this is the standard now to get to the playoffs. What's kind of the feeling about what's next for this franchise?
Just hit on the dot, and that's the standard is being in the playoffs every year and competing for Super Bowls. And, that's what we working to do, and we're excited to do that.
How does working with a young coaching staff, you guys have helped that in terms of everyone's kind of going through this developing all together?
I didn't even know we technically had a young coaching staff until you just said that. Yeah, I know. Now I understand what you're talking about. But, we bought into, what the coaching staff is doing. And, we all working together, to achieve one goal. So I don't feel like they was young. I feel like they handle business how it's supposed to be handled. And so we're excited to see, how we all work together next year.
All right, that was Lathan Ransom talking on Clean Out Day on Monday after the Panthers lost on Saturday in the the NFC wildcard game 34-31 to the Los Angeles Rams. He ended up playing 34% of the defensive snaps this year. His play count went up by a game, his season high 11 tackles in that upset win they had against the Rams the first time around they played in Carolina during the regular season back on November the 30th. And, of course, also had the The one interception got his first interception. That was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to seal that game on December the 21st. So good first year for Lathan Ransom at the NFL level with the Carolina Panthers. All right, we still have through the rest of this week Panthers reports to get to as we wrap up the season. Let's give you the one for today.
This Panther Update is brought to you by UNC Charlotte.
Raising the bar. I'm Anish Shroff with this Carolina Panthers update.
Charlotte's momentum has a name, UNC Charlotte. 32,000 students strong, ranked among the nation's top 75 public universities, recognized at the highest level for research, unmatched access to Fortune 500 companies, built for a top-tier city. This isn't typical higher ed. The difference is scale. The difference is momentum. The difference is Charlotte, UNC Charlotte.
In Dave Canales' second season as Panthers head coach, Carolina upped the ante. 5 wins a year ago, 8 wins this year, not to mention a division title and a home playoff game. That now becomes the place to start for 2026.
I love that. I love the expectations of it. I love the standards being elevated. You've probably heard some of our players. Derek was quoted, that we have a new standard. I absolutely love that because it then gives me the ability to push the urgency, to push the prep in the offseason. We come back in mid-April. Some of the guys may stay in town. We have a great plan for them. A lot of them will go to their homes in different places and train. And parting messages for me is like, we got to handle business and make sure you show back up in April ready to work. And you're not showing back up to get in shape at that point. This is your job, and we all have a job to do. We're all going to be all hands on deck working for that. But I love the urgency of it.
For the Panthers, the offseason begins. Free agency starts in a few months. There's still the combine and, of course, the NFL draft to reload for another division title run and beyond in 2026. I'm Anish Shroff of the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
This Panther Update has been brought to you by UNC Charlotte. Built for a top-tier city. The difference is Charlotte. UNC Charlotte.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. DK on the Sports Tip. We'll let you also hear a little bit later from, if not maybe today, if we can get it in today, we'll let you hear from on Thursday. Tetairoa McMillan's final comments after his rookie season as well came to an end, and one in which he had over 1,000 yards receiving. A very, very solid first year for the overall number 1 pick for the Carolina Panthers as he helped get that team back to the playoffs and host their first playoff game in 10 years, 2016 January, the last time the Panthers had hosted a playoff game. So a couple of Tucson connections there, and that was one of the reasons why we went with that network here on Wildcats Radio 1290, and we appreciate all the folks within the Carolina Panthers to help to get those games on the air for us. Eric Fiddleman, Amy Martin, getting us all hooked up and ready to go. And, of course, Anish Shroff, who joined us on the show last week. Just a tremendous, tremendous time listening to all those folks talk Carolina Panthers football. And Lathan Ransom and Tetairoa McMillan all season long. It was a good time, and we'll look forward to doing it again this coming season in 2026, maybe even get further into the playoffs. All right, want to just give you a few notes here as we get going out of the final portion of this hour. We're going to talk to John Court coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Arizona Gymnastics got their first match off to a brilliant start Friday night, knocking off number 6 Washington. So we'll talk to JC about some of the new young ladies as well as some of his seniors who are leading the pack this year as they go into their season. They've got a tremendous home schedule. It's going to be fun. They've got a number 6 Washington came in, number 12 Townsend is scheduled to come in. Utah, which is ranked in the top 10, is going to be coming in here. So a very, very staunch home schedule for the Gymcats throughout the next couple of months as they go through season number 2 in the Big 12. Arizona women's basketball did not have a midweek game this week. They will play on Saturday down in Texas against TCU. TCU is the best team in the Big 12 on the women's side, so that will not be any easy task. And you can hear the Becky Burke Show. In fact, that will be tomorrow night over on Freedom 1400. with Derek Palmer that emanates live from the Sands Club. So get on over there and support Becky Burke and her squad. They are dealing, unfortunately, with a serious injury as Michaela Purdue is out indefinitely with a wrist injury. Michaela put out a post yesterday, and here's basically what she said. Minor setback for a major comeback. A bump in the road doesn't mean the journey is over. Sometimes you just reroute and keep moving. God is the ultimate chess player, and I trust his timing completely. This moment is helping me lock in, grow, and become better on and off the court. Grateful for the pause, grateful for the process, and still giving him praise no matter what. Agent Zero checking out for now, but don't get it twisted. I'm not done yet. Stay tuned. That from Michaela Purdue, who has a wrist injury, unfortunately, and is going to be out for quite some time for Arizona basketball.
You think Sicilian defense or Queen's Gambit? What kind of strategy is God running when he's on the chessboard?
I'd say definitely Queen's Gambit would probably be my guess, but again, you got to have a lot of different chess approaches when doing that.
Yeah,
I don't talk chess. I just play chess. So
hey,
I have no idea what the strategies are. I just move the pieces.
DK, at least you can play chess. I know a lot of people that still play chess like it's checkers, and that's still frustrating me to no end.
Yeah, I mean, the base understanding of how pieces move is a good step in the right direction.
Yes.
There you go. Well, maybe we'll get a chess. Maybe we'll get a chess game going here on the air one day, and we can just kind of roll.
That's gonna be amazing radio. I moved the rook to King's spot 5.
There you go. Absolutely. Hey, we'll try anything nowadays to keep the people entertained or not. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. Much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, looking at a number of wins in the transfer portal right now for the Arizona Wildcats football team. We have a number of confirms for the 2026-27 season. Some of those include former 3-star recruit, Colorado State wideout Jordan Ross. His 300-yard season last year with the Rams. Now he'll be joining the Wildcats next year. Joining him will be former Washington State kicker and punter Ryan Harris, who led the nation with 65 yards per kickoff and 87% touchback percentage. And Jackson Griffin will be getting a chance to play with his brother after former BYU offensive tackle Jake Griffin announced he will be joining the Wildcats next season. And the Suns begin a massive road trip today as they head out to play Miami here at the bottom of the 5 o'clock hour after coming away with 3 consecutive wins. Now find themselves sitting tied atop spot for the Pacific Division with the Lakers. A lot of success has been due to Devin Booker's recent stretch of dominant passing, which head coach Jordan Ott complimented Booker's ability to know when to attack and when to look for his teammates.
He's the best game manager that I've ever been around. He just knows when to pick his spots. You see so many different types of defenses. Like tonight, they were more in a drop defense, but with an extremely long and really good defender. Coulibaly is good at on-ball defender. It's really hard to knock him off to get an advantage. He's just able to figure it out. You know, as the game goes, he has really good pace, always under control. Has a great understanding of where our spacing's at. He's going to be the catalyst every single offensive possession to create an advantage.
And again, the Suns will be away from Phoenix for the next 6 games as they try to keep this winning streak alive, although Jalen Green, imminently returning, will not be back tonight as he will still be out with injury. Another injury setback for Maverick star Anthony Davis. He will end up missing the next several months, according to reports, due to needing surgery on his left hand after suffering ligament damage against the Jazz earlier this month. Again, the prognosis hints that Davis' season in Dallas is over, as Dallas now reportedly having renewed Davis trade talks with multiple teams for a possible return to the postseason later on this season. And I'm Dragon Ball with your 2020 Sports Update on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good.
I take great comfort knowing that he's our point guard, and and I have great confidence that he's one of the best players in the country.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision Sarita Road and I-19, Ina and Mona Lisa, Stone Avenue north of Speedway, Stone and Drackman. Slowdowns northbound on Tucson Boulevard at Grant, busy Grant Road and Alverdon, slowing on Swan at Grant Road. 44 the overnight low, 75 and sunny tomorrow and 70 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. And most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One N.A. Member FDIC.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get... Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. This is Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with people like John Cena.
That's where Never Give Up comes from. I wasn't Brock. I wasn't Roman. I wasn't Dwayne. I was last.
And the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
It's a legitimate interview.
This is Insight with
Chris Van Vliet.
Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 9th through the 19th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Suns about to start a 6-game road trip down in Florida, in Miami, against the Heat. That game's set to tip off here in about 30 minutes. And the Suns 24-15 now on the season. They have moved up one, and they are now out of the play-in round of the postseason. They moved back up into the actual playoffs as the 6th seed currently in the Western Conference. Not too shabby considering just 6 months ago they traded away Kevin Durant after finishing 36-46, hiring a new GM in Brian Gregory, a new head coach in Jordan Ott, signing Devin Booker in the offseason to a 2-year, $145 million extension. And all D-Book has done is averaged 25 points and 6 assists so far. Dylan Brooks has come in. He was acquired in the Durant trade. He's scoring 21 points per ball game. And as you heard Dragon Ball mention, Jalen Green, unfortunately, has missed 2 months with a hamstring injury, maybe scheduled to potentially come back at some point during this 6-game road trip, but it will not be tonight. Without him, the Suns have emerged a more balanced squad. They have 6 players averaging in double digits. Royce O'Neal is on that list as well, averaging 11 points. He was one of the big catalysts in the win on Sunday over the Wizards, scoring 19 points. And now they'll get a chance to take on a Heat team that features 2 of your Arizona Wildcats. Pelle Larsson has started 19 games for the Miami Heat so far this season, averaging 9 points per contest. And Keyshawn Johnson has not started any games, but has played in 17, averaging about 8 minutes for the club and scoring at a clip of 3 points per ball game. Obviously, though, Pelle has a much bigger role with that team in his second NBA season and playing extremely well right now is Pelle Larsson. 16 points out last time out Sunday, a game the Heat lost to the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder by a score of 124-112.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, he was on the verge of a Summer League MVP. That's how he played. But he got pulled, as most veterans do, after a couple of games. And then he had a bit of a nagging injury in camp. So he didn't start the year at full strength. But I think Coach Spoelstra and that crew, they always do that with their draft picks. They bring them along slowly. In their second, third year, they get him into the rotation. I mean, the Heat culture is very well known, guys, for having either non-drafted, undrafted players or players taken midway or late in the second round that they'll develop. So we all knew Pelle Larsson's skill set and everything he brings is ideal for the NBA. As long as he can knock down open shots, he's always going to defend, good facilitator. So good to see him in Coach Spoelstra's rotation because we all knew it was inevitable. Now the question is he going to stay there long term? This is really this season and next is where we're going to find that out.
Well, I mean, the big question for them is that they need to figure out where the health of some of their more key guys has been. Again, Tyler Hero's only really played in 9 games this season, maybe 10, if my memory serves me right, because of a lot of injury concerns. So you've seen a lot more play from Pelle. You've seen a lot more play from Andrew Wiggins, and even throwing in Jaime Jaquez in some guard positions because of those injury concerns. But they've really kind of been treading water almost in the Eastern Conference right now, just because they haven't really gotten the kind of performance they were expecting from some of their more high-end players. I mean, Bam Adebayo has had a major drop-off from where I think a lot of people were expecting him to play this season, not to mention the fact that, again, Andrew Wiggins trying to get himself more involved as an offensive focal point hasn't really panned out. They're currently sitting 8th place in the East right now. Pelle has really been the lone bright spot in terms of consistency seemingly throughout this season for them right now. So it remains to be seen about where are they looking to put Pelle in? Are they looking to have it be a major rotational piece? Or is he somebody that they're going to try to build up to maybe try to build a trade package to get one of those superstar players that they're trying to pick up?
Just to put that in perspective, Bam is in his 9th season. Right, he only played the 1 year at Kentucky, but DK, Bam Adebayo is a career 54% field goal shooter. 54, and he's 6'9", he's athletic, he's got a little nice mid-range, he's added quite a bit to his offensive game. Guys, this year he's shooting 44%, 10 points lower on average. It took a lot of the shooters out of that lineup, obviously without Tyler Hero there. So much more defensive attention on Bam Adebayo, and he's not necessarily that offensive player who can deal with constant double teams.
No.
A lot of his offense comes off the threat of shooters. Their offense has always been designed to have shooters around him. But really quick, DK, I wanted to go back to your comment on the Suns. And to me, the balance is really important, but the biggest thing is the center position. Like, you talk a lot about what happened with, Kevin Durant being traded, but it was really Yusuf Nurkic in his short stint and then getting in the doghouse and then never getting off the bench. That was meant to be the replacement for DeAndre Ayton. That never worked out. But Mark Williams this year, remember, he was the guy who was supposed to be traded, I think it was New Orleans to Los Angeles for Dalton Connect, and the trade went through. And then the NBA canceled it after a poor physical for Mark Williams after the fact. But he's averaging 8 boards a game this year, solidifying that center position, athletic young center. So that's a huge reason. And just by committee, I mean, if it's Goodwin or Gillespie or any of those other guys that we didn't really necessarily think of Dragon Ball coming into this season as being winning playmakers for the Suns, when you've got Devin Booker and everybody else stays ready, Devin Booker's going to get that double every single time down the court. And I love what guys like Goodwin and Gillespie have said is when you get the faith of Devin Booker passing you the ball in a position to score, that just instills so much confidence in you. They all look up to Devin Booker as they should. And it's just that situation of those perimeter players all playing off each other. Confidence right now through the roof.
Yeah, and the other part of it, again, you mentioned Mark Williams at the center position. The other guy that's really kind of stepped into a really good spot rotationally at center is Oso Ighodaro. He has been that lob threat from the second unit that this squad desperately needed when they tried to play at a faster pace here. Him and Ryan Dunn as the secondary bigs has opened up so much athletic opportunity for drivers to get secondary lobs on the back end of those plays, because again, you've got a big logjam at guard for the Heat. So what do you for the Suns? What do you need to do then with your backup forwards? You need to have them be fast paced to match that speed that those guards can provide. And Oso and Dunn have been absolutely pivotal to that recent stretch there as well.
Oso and Ryan are 23. Mark Williams is 24.
They're young. They're a young group of cats in the front court.
They got some energy.
Heat have lost 3 in a row. Suns have won 3 games
How about
in a row.
9 out of 11?
For the
9
Suns?
out of 11.
Wins.
I think somewhere I read that they had the best winning record right now, the best record since Christmas in the West.
The only 2 losses they've had in their last 11 were at Cleveland and close one at Houston by 3 points.
Yep.
And, if you look at some of the teams, they've beaten New Orleans, they've beaten Washington, not a lot of Sacramento's pretty down this year, but they got a win versus the Thunder, right? They got a win versus New York. They're really playing very inspired basketball. I've said it all year. I don't know if anybody had the Suns at 24 and 15. Didn't we say the over-under on win total this year was 32 and a half, something like that? So, yeah, they're going to blow past that. Really impressed with Coach Ott and what he's brought. And, you got to give credit to Dylan Brooks. I'm not a Dylan Brooks fan. I wasn't a Dylan Brooks fan when he was at Oregon. But that energy and commitment to winning at all costs that he brings is so contagious. And you can just see it in the way they play. All those guys love the locker room, the energy. I mean, I don't know. It was pretty – I wasn't in the locker room last year, but it felt like every time you saw some of those guys post-game, there was really a little bit of tension going on there. But these guys are all loose. They're playing with each other in all the post-game interviews. Just seems like they really like playing with each other this year.
Good news for the Heat. Norman Powell will be back in the lineup tonight. He missed that game Sunday against Oklahoma City. He is their leading scorer, averaging 24 points.
That guy may be the short list of best offseason move for a team this year, because he's again, for all the struggles that the Heat have had right now with their offense and everything, Norman Powell has kept them relevant with how he has just kind of dominated and been the focal point of the offense for Miami this year. And I know that the Clippers are kind of missing his production right now, too.
Yeah, what's with the Clippers and trading away all-star perimeter players?
If they had bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck at all.
They're like, Paul George is good. We don't need Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're going to ride with Harden. We don't need Norman Powell. They seems like they have 20-plus scorers in that locker room that don't get time, and then they find their shot, with some of their team.
Yep.
He's definitely in discussion for MIP this year as well.
Yes.
And how much have we talked, I believe it was last time out, so that would have been Friday, about the Suns' defense. They have jumped from 22nd in the NBA in points allowed per game to 5th, averaging just under 112 points per ball game. You mentioned the record. I've said that 3 wins in a row. They are 9-2 going back to December 23rd.
And that was one of the biggest issues last year is that, their best defender last season was Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And when your best player who's in his mid-30s and coming off a serious injury, not too long prior, just 4 seasons prior, he's definitely not as quick a step as he used to be. When you're asking that guy to be your best defensive player, especially at the rim, defending at the rim, and also one of your best rebounders, it just takes away everything else from the offensive side of things. So when Coach Ott came in and talked about wanting to get in passing lanes, wanting to speed teams up, and wanting to get out in transition, it's not just defense, it's turning that defense into offense. His very first press conference, he talked quite a bit about that. So I wasn't so sure when he talked about it 8 months ago when he first sat on the podium, but here we are, and we're seeing it bear fruit because, like you said, DK, the defense, I think we saw the stat that the Suns had held, 9 opponents under 100 this year, and that's not happening very often because the lowest scoring team in the NBA averages something like 112.
Yeah.
All right, the Arizona women's gymnastics team wins their first meet of the season. They knocked off number 6 Washington, dropping Washington all the way down to 32nd. In gymnastics, it kind of goes by your point total. So the Wildcats enter this week as the 26th best women's gymnastics team in the country. We'll talk to their head coach. His name is John Court. That'll be next. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. With collisions reported Sabino Canyon and Tanque Verde and Sabino Canyon, Prudence north of Stella, 12th Avenue north of Irvington, 1st Avenue in Orange Grove, and also Park Avenue in Irvington. Backups on southbound Craycroft approaching Glen and roadwork there. 44, the overnight low, 75, sunny tomorrow, and 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Member Week is on at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off hundreds of items, plus earn 5 times points on an eligible purchase. Now through January 14th. Point booster subject to exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions subject to change. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it, your neighbor's kid does it, and yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword. Fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. a multivitamin, and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400, AZROC 214570.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. One of college basketball's powerhouses is unbeaten no more. Number 2 ranked Texas suffered its first loss of the season Sunday, falling 70-65 at number 12 LSU. The victory, historic for the Tigers, their first over a top 2 team since 2008, snapping a 17-game skid in those battles. Now 16-2, LSU is climbing fast. Junior Michaela Williams led the charge, scoring 20 points and drilling a cold-blooded dagger 3 with under 2 minutes left and the shot clock expiring.
Sometimes to win a game, you just need a little luck. I'm not saying that it was all the way lucky, but I knew the shot clock was running down. My mind set up pretty good. Screamed for me to get open, and I know I've practiced shooting shots like that, so when it came out of my hand, it felt good. I knew it was going in.
Only 3 undefeateds remain. Number 1 UConn, 7th ranked Vanderbilt, and number 17 Texas Tech. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
Straight Talk presents the math of more. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, the second half of the winter sports season, you know, basketballs, they start in November. Then you get the kind of the turn of the year, and we start to get into the other winter sports that will go into the spring. And one of those is Arizona Gymnastics. And coming off a regional final appearance last year, first time the Wildcats had been to a regional final since they NCAA Gymnastics went to that format back about 7 years ago now. And as a result, their head coach, John Court, named Big 12 Coach of the Year. He joins us now. Coach, always great to talk to you. First of all, tell me about, first time you've ever been named Coach of the Year, 7th season as head coach, Coach of the Year. I don't think we've talked to you since that award came out, but congratulations on that award from last season. What did that mean to you to be voted the best in the Big 12?
Hey, David. Thanks for having me on. The award it's voted on by the other head coaches, and they're really team awards. I mean, as a coach, you want to assemble the best group possible. You don't do it alone. It takes a village, and we as a staff, we all have our teams back. They have ours, and they were able to go out and produce some great results throughout the year. And we went 5-1 in the conference, finished runner-up, and hence the award. But it was great to get.
So this Big 12 was very good to you guys last year. But again, getting to the regional final had kind of been one of those things that had escaped this program. You'd gotten to the regional round on a number of times. Why was last year's team able to finally take that step and get into that second day?
I think it's something they really put their minds to at the beginning of the year, and we went through a lot of competitive scenarios, especially when we did quad meets, which is just a meet with 4 teams, because that's what the regionals are. And I said every time we did that, we have to finish first or second. Well, you have to finish one or the other. And out of the 4 meets that we did that with last year, we were able to come away with that result. So it was something that they had been doing all year. And we just kind of went and we do our pre-meet, our team meetings and things the night before. I said we're going to do the same thing, but they were geared up that night. They were ready to go, and they knew what they wanted. And it wasn't the perfect night for sure. We actually performed better. We performed better the second night, but we had a few bend moments, but we didn't break. And we were ready for any opportunity that came up. And when we saw an opening, it was pedal to the metal, and it was a night to remember for everybody.
And now you've obviously entered into 2026, first match under your belts at McHale Center last Friday night. Could not have asked for a better result. Washington came in here as the preseason number 6, so pretty good squad as most people believe. But you guys were able to win that one. Tell me about this first match, what you saw, what you liked from this year's squad to open things up.
Well, it was great to finally have a competition. I think we were all suffering from cabin fever for 3.5 months of practice. So it was great to get out there with another team. Washington is a very competitive foe. We have a lot of experience going against them, and we're doing a home-and-home series with Washington. So they were here. We'll be up there in Seattle again next year, but it's a familiar place for us to play. We knew they would come down here, and they were going to make a lot of routines. We knew that. They also had one meet under their belt. They played the week before, so their athletes might have been a little more comfortable. We were at home, and that was our comfort zone, and we did a lot of new routines. We did 32 routines on the night with exhibitions. There was a lot of good. There's a lot that needs to improve, so I'm always going to say that as a coach in the early part of the season, but they went out there and did intentional gymnastics. They had great joy, when they were in the arena and supporting each other. And it wasn't over. I would say it's not over until it's over. And, they were very resilient, across, the 24 routines and handle the ups and downs. And I say you have to compete with great passion and not with great emotion. And I think it's something that, they've really picked up on this year, and they're embracing that. And, we came away with some outstanding performances. Ainsley started us off that night. She was out last year with an injury and just did a huge vault and drilled it, and everyone went crazy, including coaches included, and set her career high on the first vault of 2026. And we said, well, if that's going to be an indication of what the season's going to be like, it could be very, very exciting. But it was a good night, and this week, we leave on Friday. We'll see Denver and Texas Women's in Denton. But it was a very, very good stepping stone. The crowd was nice. The arena looked great. Marketing team was on point. I think we won every single event with different people. Abby won the all around. She's a Big 12 first team all conference last year. So it was nice to see her do that. Emma cleaned up with a 9.925 on floor, tying her career high. So we like the momentum. We've had a few good days of practice. We have one more day. Classes start tomorrow, so it's back to school. So
oh boy,
that break's been a little bit nice. But we've managed to get some good quality work in without the class without the classes, and but they do a great job in the class. They finished 4th in the nation last year in GPA, so
wow.
They can handle them both. They can handle it both.
There you go. You got a winning team on the floor and as well as in the classroom. I like that, John.
You got to have both. There's no professional league in what they do. So they have to be ready to go. We're proud of our graduation rates with our program, and more importantly, the happiness that people come in with and leave with. They always want to come back, and we have tomorrow's leaders on our team, and the jobs and the opportunities that they get, whether that's in Tucson or in the state of Arizona or elsewhere, they're very, very marketable. I couldn't be more proud.
We're chatting with John Court. He is the head coach of the Arizona women's gymnastics team. Gym Cats off to a great start, beating the Gym Dogs on Friday night. You mentioned, obviously, they were in here. This is a pretty good schedule to start the year at home. You got a ranked Washington team. Townsend's coming in next. They were in the top 15, I believe I saw last week. And then you got Utah that's going to come in here, and they're always one of the best. I mean, they were one of the best, if not the best squad in the Pac-12, and have translated that into the Big 12. And then, of course, ASU's on the tail end. So this is a really great home schedule for folks that want to come out and see you guys.
We've moved our meet times up to 6 o'clock. That should be easier for a lot of people to get to the arena and get home earlier. And we've upped the ante with the level of competition that will be coming into McHale, not just this year, but in future years. And it's also, David, the 50th anniversary. Gymnastics turns 50 this year at U of A.
Oh, wow.
So that's a great thing. So we're having a big alumni weekend. When we host West Virginia, there'll be events for 3 days. So it should be a very, very special season. And we have competitive teams that are going to be here, teams that fans will want to see and watch.
Okay, so you mentioned alumni weekend. So, give me, who's the oldest gymnast coming back from, what class?
I've briefly looked it over. Shelby Martinez, my assistant, she's running point on the alumni weekend, being an alum herself, also being a coach. So I think we'll have a good amount of people, but coaches can come back, assistant coaches, academic counselors, trainers, you name it. So I'm excited to have some people return.
That is awesome. You had a pretty good freshman debut for a young lady named Hillary Paleo, who did her floor routine to Hamilton. Was that? Tell me how that whole thing came together.
Okay, Sophie Durr, she's a junior. She did her routine to Hamilton, and that went viral a little bit. And Kylie is our choreographer. She's my associate head coach, and choreography is something that she does awesome. I'm not making up those routines. They don't. Nobody wants to see any of that. We don't want to get twos and fours out there if I'm in charge of that. But Sophie Durr, the music and the performance, the theatrics of it is just amazing. It's the best routine that she's done it in the 3 years that she's been here. So she should be a force on floor, but people get into it. Everyone gets into it. And Hillary's a freshman. She's from the state of Arizona. She trained up in Chandler at Gold Medal Gymnastics. I've known her for a while. And she's very, very consistent as a competitor. She makes routines, and would feel very, very confident putting her in a lot of just different situations. I think that she's going to be a consistent all-arounder in her career. I think it's not if, it's when, for this year that she does get into the all-around. It was her first college meet, and the pace is a lot faster than the meets that she had in high school, but she handled it really well, and she followed a fall on floor. We had an uncharacteristic fall, and she came in as a freshman, and there was no side conferences. Just go make a routine, and she was able to do that, and we saw the score pop up, and I was like, whoa. I said okay. And that was a nice spark plug that ignited the floor team for the remainder of the night. And we put the meet away about two routines after that, and Emma finished it off. So it was good. But Hillary's going to do some special things. So I'm very, very glad that she's here.
Now you mentioned the pace is different for a young lady making that jump from high school to college. Maybe break that down, what that means. What's the biggest thing that adjustment they have to make first year?
Well, I think anytime they come out of high school, they've really had their days have been the same for 4 years. By the time 4 years, the time they get up, the time they have breakfast, they go to school, they come home, they go to the gym, they come home, and it's 4 years of that. And then they have their competitions on the weekends. When you come to college, you have to figure out a whole new normal, where the school time is actually less, the gym time's a little bit less. The competition schedule is a lot more. It's usually at least double, because when the prospects are in high school, they'll play 6 times a year over a 4-month period, maybe from just mid-December to May. So we start in January and we go 12 weeks straight. We don't take a weekend off.
Yeah.
So we're really big into our rest, our recovery, our strength program, our medical staff, everybody. It's all hands on deck. But a college meet, you're in and out in 90 minutes. A club meet, you could be there for 3 hours or 4 hours.
I'm sure they like that part of it. It's like these college meets, it's quick.
Yeah, I think that their parents really like it. They're like, oh wow, this is it, and and there's just a lot of things that help them with their consistency. The equipment's always the same. It doesn't matter where we go for our schedules and a few other things. So they really enjoy it. But it's something that we tell them. We say you have to be ready for a new normal, and you have to plan your days. I always say if you're not planning to succeed, you're planning to fail. So we have a lot of type A personalities on our team. They're very good students, and they plan their days. So I want to be doing this and this and this and this. And we tell everybody, hey, you have to throw some free time in there for yourself just to do nothing. Binge on Netflix or whatever it is that you want to do. Has to be some new series on that everybody wants to watch. But you have to enjoy that time as a person, as a student, and as an athlete in college.
John, did you have Serena Linton as a professional wrestler when she grew up?
That wasn't on the bingo card. That was not on the bingo card. I was happy with her career here, All-American. I picked that. That was something that we knew could happen with her talent level. Wrestling, it's something that we didn't see that one, but she loves the entertain. She's an entertainer. Serena's an entertainer. That is for sure, and she's doing really well. I'm proud of what she's doing. And I see the videos and things like that, and she can do some damage in the ring for sure.
There you go. I mean, gymnastics to professional wrestling. That's a interesting transition. But who knows what these young ladies? We've got, like we said, we've got our Skylar Sieben going from track to bobsled. So anything can happen once you figure out a way to take that athletic talent and maybe use it in another venue. So.
Well, instead of flipping off the bar, being 10 feet in the air, she flips off the top rope and knocks somebody out with a forearm. The place goes wild.
There you go. Hey, before I let you go, John, your super senior, Elizabeth LaRusso, what are you looking for from her leadership-wise this year?
Just one, to do her 2 events. She's in grad school in speech pathology, so she's very, very busy in the day with clinicals. And Liz is someone that's been in the program for a long, long time. She knows our culture. She knows what the coaches want. She knows how to play. And just to use everything that she has learned and help others out on the team, but also enjoy the experience herself. I told her that when this opportunity came up to come back, she was very, very excited about it. And I said, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're going to do a lot of the same things that we just did. And she's someone I really respect and enjoy her as a person, and I want her here. And so it's just as good for her as it is for me.
There you go. All right. It's great stuff out there with the Gym Cats, off to a fabulous start on the road this Friday night down in Denton, Texas, against Texas Western and Denver. Is that a tri-meet there? Denver's also at that meet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be our first look at both the schools, and they both outscored us last week. So
yeah,
we're coming in as underdogs, but we're ready to get on the plane. We'll be ready to go. And David, before I forget, make sure that you come to the alumni meet. We go back a little bit, so you all know what, you should be there.
Absolutely. That'll be Saturday, February the 21st for sure. As long as basketball doesn't get in the way, John, I'll try. But you guys have a lot of Friday night meets, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, just Big 12 basketball schedule is spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
We were like, well, we have Friday nights, and it worked out. It just worked out that way.
There you
go. I'd love for it to stay that way. I obviously don't control the basketball schedule. if anyone out there is listening, know that Coach is happy going on Friday night.
And who do you guys? Who's in this Metroplex challenge? When you go down to Texas, Fort Worth,
Oklahoma, the defending national champion. Arkansas will be there, and Texas women's, who we also will see this weekend. So
okay, there you go.
Should be a great meet, and we play Friday, so we have Utah Friday, and then we get up in the morning, get on a plane, and go to Dallas.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then Sunday
That's one of
afternoon.
those 2 meet weekends.
Yes, it is. But we'll be ready to go. We've done it before.
There we go. John, always great to talk to you. Looking forward to a great season.
All right, Dave, you take care of yourself.
John Court, he is the Big 12 Coach of the Year in his 8th season now as the head coach of your Arizona women's gymnastics team. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision Sabino Canyon and Tanque Verde, Park Avenue in Irvington, Prudence north of Stella clearing in a crash that occurred at First Avenue in Orange Grove, and backup southbound Craycroft approaching Glen. 44, the overnight low, 75 sunny tomorrow and 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Member Week is here for pros at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off hundreds of items, plus earn 5 times points on an eligible purchase. Now through January 14th. Point booster subject to exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details subject to change.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-447-7755. That's 800-447-7755. Once again, that's 800-447-7755.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 9th through the 19th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
I grew up in a broken home, and I remember being homeless and being pregnant in Tucson. I remember being scared, and I went to Gospel Rescue Mission at Christmas time. And that was when everything changed. The gospel did more than just keep me sober. I started finding myself. Hi, I'm Christina, and I've been clean and sober for almost 6 years.
Go to grmtucson.com to give today.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
En garde! Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Robinhood, your money, your move. News today that Mike Tomlin is stepping down from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and as we look forward for Tomlin's career, I wonder if he'll consider going to TV. In the past, John Madden was America's coach. Mike Tomlin has the charisma, the credentials, and he's likable. He could certainly become America's next head coach on TV. I'm Chris Black.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. And let me tell you, I love numbers. 1040s, 1099s, W-2s, all of them. With TaxSlayer, anyone can file a federal return for just $22.99. You'll get 100% accuracy and your biggest possible refund guaranteed. Now those are great numbers. Need help along the way? We've got US-based real human support. File by February 8th for just $22.99 and get the refund you deserve. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
By audit.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of our show for today. Don't forget, tomorrow is a game day for Arizona men's basketball. No Tommy Lloyd show this week. Tommy had some things happening, so there will not be. Normally, we have Tommy Lloyd for you on Thursday nights, but there will not be a Tommy Lloyd show this week. They will reconvene next week from the Union Public House, so don't head up there tomorrow.
Speculate wildly?
No.
I'm going to guess Coach Kerr's in town.
Oh, maybe.
It's dinner time.
Is it?
No.
Are they playing this? Well, the Suns are on the road.
He doesn't need an
so
excuse.
no.
Number one, Coach Lloyd does not need an excuse. I don't know exactly. I heard scheduling conflict. I'm just joking that, Coach Lloyd talks often. I think 2 coaches shows it was, I got to go meet with Coach Kerr because they're playing the Suns tomorrow night type of thing. So I would just say something like he's picking up his dry cleaning and he has to pay back a tab or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, he's fine. He'll be coaching Wednesday. That's all that we need to know. He will be coaching Wednesday. Could be recruiting related. That's actually more so what I was thinking it was.
Never know. We'll be with you tomorrow at 5 o'clock from Radio Wealth Management Arizona game day, and then 8:30 tip-off Wildcats and Sun Devils, the first of their 2 meetings this year in Big 12 conference play. Obviously, the second one will be down the road in Tempe, and that'll be a little bit later in the season when they get together on the 31st of the month of January. So 2 meetings in basically 2.5 weeks.
What day was the alumni gymnastics meeting?
That would be on the, I think it was, the second, and Saturday what was it? The 20, I don't know. It was a Saturday, I know that. I know we've got games every Saturday.
Baylor. Yeah, I think that's the Baylor.
Is that a home or away?
I think it's at Baylor.
Okay.
I think that's right.
We'll figure it out. We'll see if we can get over there and make that happen, because that would be a really fun event for sure. Anytime we bring our alumni back here, it's always a fun time to get all of the U of A alums back in the house and revisit the college days, because college days swiftly passed. So it's always
Shout
fun.
out to Craig Jones, my boy, who's in town. He's literally in town today from Denver, and he spent 9 years of his life on U of A campus. He has 4 degrees, I think. Business, nursing, undergrad. But, yeah, he's an alumni in town just for the next couple of days. He's down for the basketball game.
Cool. That's awesome.
Also, our resident wrestling pro expert over here is Dragon Ball. So next time you ask Coach Court about former athletes doing wrestling.
Did you know that Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball.
Serena Linton, who was a gymnast here just a few years ago, is now on the minor league women's wrestling circuit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been kind of like, I think we had mentioned her at some point a couple months back, and I was like, oh yeah, no, she's doing some WWE NXT stuff as far as I remember.
Absolutely. So hopefully she follows that dream, and it's a successful one for her. That would be fun to see one of our own kind of rise to the top of that industry, for sure. All right, so best of luck. We'll have to get her on, see if we can get her on the show to talk about how you transition from being a world-class gymnast to being a wrestler, professional wrestler.
Just got to learn to take a bump. That's going to be the first thing you need to learn. Is best time you need to not just cartwheel on the mat. You need to be able to fall on the mat and not hurt yourself.
Right.
Well, that's step one of becoming a gymnast. So that's that was same as skateboarding. Like, you don't just wake up as a 50-year-old, decide you're going to go jump down some stairs. You got to learn how to fall as a young gymnast. Some sports, some athletic feats, it requires getting rid of the fear in your brain of doing yourself great harm. And once you get past that fear, and come on, I mean, we've all tumbled in our junior high mats or whatever, and pursuing gymnastics is the pursuit of learning how not to fall, how not to hurt yourself when you do fall.
All right, I forgot to do this. So before we get to our Casino del Sol replay and get out of here, I forgot that Cricket gave me 4 tickets to the Tucson Roadrunners game coming up on Wednesday, January the 21st. Wednesday, January the 21st, 4 tickets to see the Roadrunners. So let's take caller number 1 right now to 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. You get a 4-pack of tickets to see the Tucson Roadrunners take on the San Diego Gulls. That's the only team they've lost to in their last 7 games. They've won 6 of their last 7. They got another sweep over the weekend when they swept Iowa, and now they'll have San Jose coming up this weekend. And then San Diego will be next Wednesday. So this is coming up next Wednesday, the final game of the homestand. Caller number 1. Now, you cannot have won anything in the last, 30 days, I believe it is. Is that right, J-Dub? 30 days?
I believe it's 30 days.
30 days. You cannot have won anything in the last 30 days. So if you've won something recently, don't bother to call 520-848-1290. But if you have not won anything, give us a call there, and we'll hook you up. All right, let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Seth Dagey joined us earlier on the show, and we talked a little bit about the bowl game. Holiday Bowl, Wildcats, and how they were able to get things going in the second half to make it close and almost have a chance to beat SMU.
Yeah, that was, if you ask any of the offensive coaches as well as all the offensive players, man, that was probably one of our most embarrassing first halves of football, we had all year. And it was a combination of a lot of different things. It was a combination of penalties. It was a combination of lack of execution. It was a combination of putting ourselves in bad spots. It was a lack of, great calls. And when I needed to get them out of it, we just weren't helping each other. Where, I think as a play caller to his players, sometimes I can call a mediocre play or a mediocre series, and those guys bail me out. Vice versa, I may call the best series and bail them out because, whatever, the scheme was perfect. We just didn't do that for each other that first half. And so it was a combination of a lot of things. we didn't make the plays when we needed to make the plays. I didn't make the calls when I needed to make the calls. And, you know, we had some fourth down opportunities we didn't convert on. I mean, there was a lot of things, man. But that's where, you know, what I'm really proud of, I'm not proud of, I mean, that one to me, and if you ask a lot of our players, that one probably hurt the most because we worked really hard for that opportunity. And going into that game, we practiced really hard and we game planned really hard. I mean, it wasn't taken lightly. And to kind of end it that way it doesn't sit well with us. And sometimes I think it's a blessing in disguise because I feel like as a coordinator, I'm more hungry than I've ever been. You know, maybe if we won 10, everybody be patting you on the back, telling you how great you are, and then all of a sudden you don't work as hard. Well, now we didn't win 10, and I feel like somewhat responsible because now I'm hungrier than I've ever been in my life. So, you know, maybe it was a blessing in disguise for me, especially and some of our players like Noah. I know Noah feels, you know, a certain type of way that didn't go down the way it should have gone down. Now, one thing I'm proud of is we went into halftime, looked in the mirror and said, everybody do your job and go out there and guess what's going to happen? We're going to have a chance to win this game. And that's exactly what happened. As we buckled down, made some big-time plays and got ourselves, and so did the defense. Defense did a tremendous job in the second half as well. We ended up putting up 330 yards of total offense in 2 quarters, you know, and 19 points and give us a chance to actually score. And, you know, if we get the ball back at the end, we get a chance to score and win that game. So I was really proud of our guys on the way they responded, but that just goes back to who we are and the culture that we've built, you know, around Coach Brennan and his vision that we're not going to lay down. And that was a good defense. Now, I mean, there's $5 million on that defensive front from NIL. Like those guys weren't. I mean, they were a couple plays away from being in the college football playoffs. And to be honest with you, they beat the team that is in the championship right now. So they weren't just a lay down team, somebody that you're just going to go walk on. They're going to make you earn it, but I felt like in the second half we did, and obviously that's a positive. We're not going to lean on that, and we're not going to accept that you know, I don't like participation awards, you know, and that's just not going to sit well with us. But it also gave us an edge going into the off season, knowing that we're not ever going to let that thing happen again.
Today's Casino Del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino Del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to John Court for joining us. Thanks to Seth Dagey for joining us for Dragon Ball, for JW Madden, for cricket. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Arizona basketball, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona game day at 5 o'clock right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. We've got collisions reported Sabino Canyon and Tanque Verde and Sabino, First Avenue and Orange Grove, also Park Avenue and Irvington. Some slowdowns northbound Campbell at Grant, northbound Tucson Boulevard at Grant, and also westbound Grant Road at I-10. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things. Like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that. You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest. For a year.
365 days. 12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks. He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun. I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new? Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at AlaskanAC.com.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Get ready, Arizona. The biggest country party of the year is back. March 20th through 22nd at the scenic Forever Ranch in Benson for the 5th annual Cochise Country Music Festival. Tracy Bird, Mark Chestnut, Rodney Adkins, Chris Cagle, Little Texas, Kelsey Hart, Emily Ann Roberts, and many more. Bring the whole family. Kids 10 and under get in free. 3 days of nonstop music, 2 stages, dance floors, and after parties till 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. RV camping, tent camping, and only 45 minutes from Tucson. The ultimate weekend getaway in southern Arizona. March 20th through 22nd at the Forever Ranch in Benson. Get your camping and show tickets now. CochisCountryFest.com.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Cochise Country Music Festival. You can get 2 3-day general admission passes and a 3-day general admission camping pass for just $343.50, originally $687. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Please gamble responsibly. Got a couple of different ways you can watch us live on YouTube. Search BetMGM Tonight. Hit that subscribe button. You can watch us live on Twitter at BetMGM Tonight. You should be following us on Twitter and all of our social media platforms at BetMGM Tonight. And then you got plenty of ways to listen. Westwood One Sports app, Odyssey app, SiriusXM Channel 375, and over 300 local affiliates throughout North America. Don't forget anything that you missed. Download the BetMGM Tonight podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And the phone number to join the show is 310-840-4910. Brad, we've been talking a lot of hoops here over the last 40 minutes or so. And again, the main topic of the day that we started the show with, Mike Tomlin stepping down as Steelers head coach. So we'll take any and all phone calls that you have on that, where you think Tomlin goes next, what the Steelers should do, and any coaching carousel thoughts in general. But as we look ahead, here now it's Tuesday night. And the week seems like it's moving slowly and slowly and slowly. There's no Thursday night football. We just got our last Monday night football game this season. It's never too early to look ahead to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs here. And 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. We're down to the final 8. And we've got Bills and Broncos to kick us off on Saturday at 4:30. In the Mile High City, where I say on yesterday's show, Brad, it felt like I'd be surprised if the Broncos, who were the underdog when this opened, didn't at least get bet back to being the favorite. And right now it's at a dead even pick 'em on BetMGM.